At the beginning of the story, our main character, Liang, tied up by the villagers, everyone is accusing him of being a monster who has even devoured his own family. His father, who loved him dearly, was not spared either because of this so-called bastard. Liang thinks to himself, monster, why does this word never leave me? Did I really do this? He wonders why people have always called him a monster, even in his past life. Back then, he was an orphan, free and independent, but because he belonged to no one, people labeled him a monster. He had never harmed anyone, yet they gave him this title. Even after reincarnation, the word monster still haunts him. They call him a monster, yet their own humanity is questionable. They had no hesitation in throwing him before a real monster to die. Liang doesn't even feel like complaining to God. After all, God never listens to him. Just as he accepts his fate and prepares for death, something incredible happens. He awakens to the strongest and rarest ability in history, water control. If you're wondering how powerful this ability is, just know that a single drop of water is enough to make humanity realize its insignificance. Now that they have made him into a monster, it's time to show the world what a real monster looks like. The narrator dives into the story, explaining how it begins with Liang standing in awe of a stunning new world. He couldn't believe where he had ended up. Moments ago, he had been living in a modern world filled with towering buildings. Suddenly, Liang hears a familiar voice, his father's, asking what he was thinking about. Liang is shocked because, in his previous life, he had been an orphan. The idea of having a father was foreign to him. His father, however, urged him not to waste time and suggested they go fishing so they could enjoy a delicious meal. Though Liang was still confused, he decided to follow his father, choosing to enjoy the day and figure things out later. As the day unfolded, Liang and his father fished together, something Liang had never experienced before. Despite being new to it, he had a great time. However, while catching fish, a crab suddenly bit him. Later, they shared lunch, and Liang even sketched on his father's boat. Time flew by, and before they knew it, evening had arrived. Before heading home, Liang and his father decided to sit and enjoy the sunset. It was then that Liang noticed a rare red fish swimming nearby. Shocked, he realized how uncommon such a fish was and impulsively jumped into the river to catch it. But once underwater, he couldn't see the fish anymore. It had vanished. When Liang tried to swim back, he found himself unable to move, as if something was holding him in place. A sharp pain shot through his chest, and in his mind, he pleaded for his father to save him. The scene transitioned to night. Liang opened his eyes to find himself lying on a boat, but his father was gone. Instead, two strangers stood nearby. It became clear that everything Liang had just experienced was nothing more than a dream. In reality, the two men had tied him up, and he had no idea what was happening. One of the strangers, an old man, praised the other, Zhang, for tricking Liang into helping them. However, their real intention was to use Liang as bait to lure a water-type beast. Despite overhearing this plan, Liang remained calm. After all, he was no ordinary boy. He was someone who had reincarnated into this world from a modern one. Liang reflected on his new reality. It had been a month since he found himself in this body. The original Liang had died from an illness, and somehow, he had taken over the body. His memories were still intact, especially those of Liang's father, who had cared for him after his mother's death. Liang found these memories comforting, especially since he had never experienced family in his previous life as an orphan. Over the past month, he had adapted to this new world, which was anything but ordinary. He had learned that people here could train their minds and bodies to reach superhuman states, surpassing normal human limits. These individuals were known as cultivators. Surprisingly, even animals could evolve by cultivating, becoming mythical beasts. As if summoned by Liang's thoughts, a mythical beast suddenly appeared near the boat. Both Liang and the two strangers were stunned by its sheer size. Zhang had been told that the beast was small, but it was massive, larger than their boat. Panic set in as Zhang realized he wasn't prepared for such a powerful creature. Still, he steeled himself, declaring that he had trained for 10 years and wouldn't go down easily. As the beast approached, Zhang launched his most powerful attack, but the mythical beast was far too strong. With a single bite, it devoured Zhang along with half the boat. The old man was terrified. He had never planned to fight the beast himself. He was only there to benefit from Zhang's efforts. Now, with Zhang gone, he had no idea how to survive. As the beast loomed closer, the old man's eyes landed on Liang, who was still tied up. A wicked idea crossed his mind. If Liang was supposed to be bait, perhaps he could use him one last time to escape. The old man wasted no time. He swiftly attacked Liang's hand with a dagger and then kicked him into the river, hoping that the mythical beast would be drawn to Liang's blood instead of him. Since Liang's hands were tied, he couldn't swim and was quickly pulled deeper into the river. As Liang sank, he thought to himself that he had to do something, or he would die in vain. Struggling hard, he finally managed to untie the rope with his mouth. However, due to excessive blood loss and being dragged deeper into the river, his condition worsened, and he began losing consciousness. In his fading state, Liang suddenly saw a vision of his father reaching out to him, as if trying to save him. Though he knew this couldn't be real, his father had already passed away. Liang still extended his hand. To his surprise, he felt something solid. Looking closely, he realized it was a piece of wood from his father's old boat, the very one where he had once drawn a picture of himself and his father. Using the wooden plank, Liang somehow managed to reach the river's surface. He whispered, thanking his father for helping him even in such a dire situation. But his relief was short-lived. The blood from his injured hand had spread throughout the river, attracting the mythical beast, which was now heading straight toward him. Without warning, the beast grabbed Liang's leg and dragged him deep underwater. Struggling for air, Liang noticed the riverbed littered with corpses, broken weapons, and scattered treasures. Realization hit him. He would soon share the same fate. Liang, feeling helpless, closed his eyes and thought, I tried my best, but I still couldn't save myself. Even after reincarnating into this world, I failed to make a difference. Father, please forgive me. Soon, I'll join you. But then, something unexpected happened. The mythical beast slammed Liang onto the riverbed, but instead of finishing him off, the blood from Liang's body spread and touched an ancient golden cauldron lying nearby. This triggered the cauldron, which released a wave of energy that surged into Liang's body. Liang felt a surge of power unlike anything he had ever experienced. Suddenly, a system interface appeared before him, informing him that he had activated the water cauldron and unlocked a new skill, water control. It also notified him that his injuries were being healed. Moments later, Liang opened his eyes, shocked to find himself alive. He wondered how he had survived. Considering the beast had dragged him so deep, it didn't make sense, unless the system had saved him. Panic set in as Liang realized he was still underwater, but strangely, he could breathe normally. He flailed his arms, trying to swim upward, only to realize he didn't need to. It was as if the water posed no resistance. It felt like walking on solid ground. Even his wounds had completely healed. The system appeared again, explaining that with water control, he could manipulate water freely, though it would consume his physical energy. Liang was astonished. Could he really control water now? Was this system similar to the ones in Manhwa where the main character gains OP powers? Just then, he remembered the mythical beast. As if summoned by his thoughts, the beast appeared behind him, jaws wide open, ready to strike. Liang panicked, thinking, I just unlocked the system, you can't kill me yet, I'm the main character. But nothing happened. Opening his eyes, Liang was shocked to see the beast frozen mid-attack. He had unknowingly used his water control ability to halt it. Despite the beast's immense strength, it couldn't move forward. Liang grinned, realizing the extent of his new power. But as he maintained control over the beast, he noticed something. The ability had its limits. The force restraining the beast began to weaken. So, it's time limited after all, he thought. The moment his control faded, the beast lunged at him again. But Liang was ready. He stepped on the beast's back, propelling himself upward. Liang muttered to himself, this isn't going to work. How long am I supposed to keep dodging its attacks? Frustrated, he called out to the system, tell me, is there any way I can force this mythical beast to surrender? Almost instantly, the system materialized before him, its voice echoing, Host, a new skill has been successfully activated for you, Blood Talisman. With this ability, you can craft ancient runes using blood and form a contract with a water-type beast. Liang's eyes lit up. This is incredible. This is exactly what I needed. With this ability, I can finally control this beast, he thought. The mythical beast lunged at him again, but Liang swiftly used his water control ability to halt its movement mid-air. The beast struggled, but Liang now had the perfect opportunity. He dashed forward, activating the blood talisman, aiming to establish the contract. However, the beast wasn't ready to give up so easily. It resisted the connection with all its might. So, this is how it's going to be, Liang muttered through gritted teeth. This battle will be decided by whose spiritual energy depletes first. Determined, Liang clenched his fists. I'm not going to lose. I can't die again. I've already faced death once, and I won't let fate repeat itself. I was reincarnated in this world to change everything, and no matter how powerful this beast is, it will submit to me. As the struggle intensified, the Liang's monster form began to emerge due to the immense energy being used. Moments later, the scene shifted to the riverbank. Liang emerged, drenched but victorious. Finally, I won this fight, he sighed in relief. But just as he began to relax, the beast approached again. This time, however, it wasn't hostile. It had accepted Liang as its master. Listen carefully, Jason instructed the beast. I can't take you into the village. It wouldn't be safe for you. For now, go back. When I need you, I'll summon you. The beast, understanding Liang's words, retreated into the wilderness. Liang, meanwhile, felt an odd connection within him, a spiritual link to the beast. No matter where I am in this world, I can call upon it, and it can sense me too, he realized. Time to head home, eat, and rest. Tomorrow, I'll figure out my next move, he thought, thankful that his memories had led him back to his house without trouble. Next day in Liang's village, Old Man and Steward Zhao was leading a group toward Liang's house. Curious villagers whispered among themselves, "Who are these people, and why are they heading to Liang's house?" Someone asked. Another replied, "That's Steward Zhao from the Zhao Manor. Why would someone so powerful be here? Could Liang be in serious trouble?" A young man, Li Libo, Liang's childhood friend, overheard the conversation. His face tensed with worry. This could be bad for Liang. What should I do? At Liang's house, Old Man stood before the door, his expression cold. "That brat's probably dead by now. At least I can take whatever he left behind," he sneered. Frustrated by previous failures, he muttered, "Thanks to that fool Zhang, I suffered a huge loss, but this brat's death might help me recover some of it." Without warning, Old Man kicked down Liang's door, only to freeze in shock. Liang stood right there, very much alive. "You're supposed to be dead. How did you survive that powerful beast?" Old Man stammered. Before Old Man could gather his thoughts, Steward Zhao stepped forward, glaring. "Who told you he was dead? I warned you to think before you speak. Reckless talk like this will only get you into trouble." Old Man, now pale with fear, stuttered, "Please, Steward Zhao, forgive me. I made a mistake, but this is the guy. His name is Liang." Steward Zhao's eyes narrowed as he studied Liang. "So, you're Liang. I have to admit, surviving that beast is no small feat. I had a feeling you might still be alive." Old Man, still fuming, muttered under his breath, "The worst kinds of people always find a way to survive." Steward Zhao then raised his voice, "Everyone, arrest him. This brat has committed a serious crime." As the guards moved in, Liang stood his ground, confused yet calm. "What crime? I haven't done anything wrong. Why are you treating me like a criminal?" Old Man barked. "So, you're saying we're lying? You've done nothing at all." Old Man explained that their master Zhao had summoned the great warrior Zhang to protect them from the water monster. However, Liang had betrayed them by joining forces with the monster, leading to Mr. Zhang's death. This act had placed the entire village in grave danger. They warned Liang that the village would now face severe penalties due to Zhang's death, and he would be held responsible for paying them. Liang, furious, called the Old Man a liar. He reminded everyone that only the Old Man and he knew the truth. They had tied Liang up as bait to lure the water monster. When the cowardly Mr. Zhang was killed by the monster, the Old Man panicked and threw Liang into the water, hoping the monster would chase him instead, allowing the Old Man to escape safely. The Old Man dismissed Liang's claims, accusing him of murdering Mr. Zhang and arrogantly standing before them as if he were innocent. He labeled Liang a monster, a word that triggered memories from Liang's painful past. He recalled being an orphan, constantly bullied at school. Classmates would stick monster labels on his bag and spread rumors that orphans couldn't be trusted. They were thieves by nature. No one befriended him, leaving him isolated. The scene shifted back to the past, where a bully mocked Liang again, reigniting his anger. Liang glared fiercely at the bully, who taunted him further, daring Liang to fight if he truly was a monster. He ridiculed Liang's poverty, questioning how an orphan could possess any real power. Enraged, Liang punched the bully hard, knocking him down. He reflected on how the word monster was not new to him. He had heard it countless times, but had never given up. No matter how difficult life became, he vowed not to surrender now, even if it meant revealing his true powers. Liang then tackled the Old Man and destroyed the water barrel nearby. He declared that he no longer cared what others thought. If they believed he was a monster, he would show them what a real monster was. With that, Liang began controlling the water around him, demonstrating his power. The Old Man alarmed Steward Zhao to order their men to bind Liang and take him to Zhao Manor. Believing it was too dangerous to deal with Liang openly, he suggested that, since Liang was an orphan, no one would notice if he disappeared. They planned to sacrifice him later. Steward Zhao tried to persuade Liang, claiming that Master Zhao had decided to adopt him because he was poor. He warned Liang to come quietly, or they would break his legs, ensuring he'd never work again. Meanwhile, villagers whispered among themselves, noting that many orphans had been taken to Zhao Manor under similar promises, only to vanish without a trace. They feared Liang would meet the same fate. Just then, someone shouted, challenging anyone who dared harm Liang. It was the village chief, who had come to Liang's defense. He reassured Liang not to worry as long as he was alive. Steward Zhao sneered, questioning why the village chief had interfered. The chief, unfazed, revealed his identity as not only the village chief but also an official of the Dacian dynasty. He warned Steward Zhao that attacking him would have severe consequences, as the dynasty would retaliate. Steward Zhao hesitated, realizing Zhao Manor lacked the power to fight the dynasty. The chief taunted Steward Zhao for backing down and mocked Master Zhao, claiming even Master Zhao showed him respect when they met. He warned Steward Zhao that if they didn't leave immediately, he would report them to the dynasty, and Zhao Manor would face dire consequences. Fuming, Steward Zhao backed off, vowing that Master Zhao would soon hear about everything that had happened. He left but made it clear the matter wasn't over. As they retreated, the old man insulted Liang one last time, saying he was just like his father, incapable of recognizing kindness. After they left, the village chief turned to Liang and advised him to stay away from such people, warning that they were dangerous. He reassured Liang that while he may not have a father, he still had someone who would protect him. The chief promised Liang that he would always be there to keep him safe. Liang expressed his gratitude to Grandpa Chief, assuring him not to worry. He promised to stay away as much as possible and acknowledged that Grandpa Chief and Libo would always stand by his side. Libo then told Liang to rest while he escorted the village chief. Meanwhile, the village chief addressed the gathered crowd, telling them that the show was over and that they should return to their homes. Liang, lost in thought, realized that challenges like this would continue in the future. Since they had attacked him once, there was no doubt they would do it again. Although Grandpa Chief had saved him today, he couldn't always be there. Liang feared that if he was weak when they struck again, he would surely die. Determined, he resolved to become stronger and asked the system for help. The system responded, informing Liang that his water essence had increased by plus 0.1 due to his pet. Surprised, Liang questioned how his pet had caused this. Convinced that answers lay ahead, he decided to visit his pet to uncover the truth. Later, Liang arrived by the river. He recalled that he had formed a contract with a creature named Taihua Crocodile, whom he could summon any time. Using the contract, he summoned the creature without difficulty. Moments later, Taihua Crocodile appeared, but its size had shrunk significantly. Liang was puzzled and asked the crocodile why it had become so small when it used to be much larger. The system explained that the Taihua Crocodile could adjust its size depending on its energy consumption, a common ability among mythical beasts. Its current small form consumed minimal energy. Liang found this fascinating and marveled at the wonders of this world. Realizing there was much more to learn, curious, he asked the crocodile where it had found the water essence and insisted it take him there, believing it could be highly beneficial. Soon, Liang and Taihua Crocodile ventured underwater and reached an underwater cave. Liang guessed that this must be where the crocodile had found the water essence. As they entered the cave, Liang was stunned. Countless legendary spirit plants filled the area, each containing water essence. The system informed him that he could absorb the water essence from the spirit plants if he wished. Liang reflected that this world was filled with spiritual materials and treasures that had absorbed massive energy over time. Plants with special effects were called spirit plants. He recalled that in Zhao Manor's backyard, there was a frozen pond where special vines grew. Master Zhao used these vines to lure cultivators into his domain, turning them into loyal followers. Liang, eager to benefit from the spirit plants, decided to collect as many as he could. He then urged Taihua Crocodile to help him gather the plants, reminding it that he was its master. However, the crocodile had fallen asleep, leaving Liang to do the work alone. Despite this, Liang remained optimistic, knowing the effort would pay off. After collecting all the spirit plants, Liang prepared to absorb the water essence. As he did, the system confirmed the absorption and informed him that this essence would significantly strengthen his contract and allow him to level up his water-type beasts. Liang was impressed by the essence's quality and began consuming the spirit plants one by one, causing his water essence to steadily increase. Eventually, he had eaten all the speed plants, feeling overly full, even noticing his belly bulging. The system then displayed his stats. He now possessed the water monkey spirit with a 5% fusion rate and had accumulated 25 water essence points. However, to evolve Taihua Crocodile, he would need at least 800 points. Liang concluded that for now, it was wiser to focus on increasing the fusion rate of his water monkey spirit. As he enhanced the fusion, intense energy surged from his body. He could clearly feel that the water monkey spirit's power had increased significantly. Liang felt confident that he could now defeat those who had attacked him before. His fusion rate had now reached 7.5%, giving him greater control over water. However, he decided against seeking battle for the time being, understanding that increasing his energy was the priority. Liang realized that all the spirit plants in the cave had been used up, and to gain more energy, he would need to earn a lot of money, his only solution to future problems. Reflecting on Taihua Crocodile's sluggish behavior, Liang remembered that it was autumn, a season when crocodiles became slower and preferred to sleep. This explained why he couldn't rely on Taihua Crocodile for now. At that moment, a fish swam up to Jason. To his surprise, it was brought by Taihua Crocodile, who, despite its laziness, had managed to help in its own way. Liang remarked, "Looks like Croco hasn't gotten too lazy yet. Maybe I can still rely on you." As he pondered his next move, Liang thought, "I've come up with a brilliant idea. For now, I'll solve my money problem by selling this in the market." The scene transitioned to the market, where Liang sold a large yellow fish and earned 80 coins. He commented, "The profit wasn't much, but it's not bad either. Considering how short I am on money, this will do for now." Reflecting on the merchants here, he thought, "These merchants are much easier to deal with compared to the ones from my previous life." Convincing them is simple, unlike back home where endless formalities and unreasonable demands were the norm. Liang's mind shifted to his ultimate goal. Once I get my hands on the water essence, I'll settle the score with those bastards who tried to kill me. I won't let them off so easily. Suddenly, the old man from before called out to Liang, holding a fish in his hand. Please forgive me for my earlier mistakes. There was a misunderstanding between us, and that's why things went wrong. I never intended to attack you. I've been searching for you to apologize. The old man said sincerely. It's quite the coincidence finding you here in the market. My boat is nearby at the river. Let's go there, have a meal, and clear up the misunderstanding. I'm sure once we talk calmly, you'll forgive me. Please, just this once, hear me out. Liang was cautious, fully aware that the old man was a schemer. This old man definitely has a plan. He wouldn't invite me without a reason. The old man continued, don't worry, it'll just be the two of us. No one else will be there to attack you. Liang thought, if it's really just him, then this could be my chance to finally take revenge. He replied, why not? Clearing up misunderstandings is always a good thing. Since you're the one suggesting it, I'm in. Plus, with just the two of us there, I won't have to worry about my safety. A flashback revealed that a few days ago, the old man had been severely beaten after the failed ambush on Liang. Steward Zhao, a powerful figure, had reprimanded him, saying, you know how important the experiments at the Zhao mansion are. Many people have died recently, and we need more for refining the pills. That orphan kid, Liang, is perfect for our needs. Do you understand what I'm implying? The old man had eagerly agreed. Don't worry, I'll make sure Liang ends up with you by tomorrow. I'll trap him so well, he won't have any escape, Steward Zhao promised. If you succeed, Master Zhao and the other great elders will help you achieve immortality. The old man was ecstatic. Immortality? Are you serious? I've been striving for that my entire life. This time, Liang won't slip through my fingers. Back in the present, Liang and the old man arrived at the river, boarding the old man's boat. The old man gestured around. See? There's no one nearby. Let's start with a drink. Unbeknownst to Liang, the old man laced Liang's drink with poison, thinking, once he drinks this fish soup, his lungs will be in excruciating pain. He'll scream for help, but no one will come. There's no one around to save him. But Liang, sensing something was off, stood up. If there's truly no one around, then this is the perfect moment, he declared, activating his water control ability. The old man panicked. Liang, what are you doing? Sit down. But it was too late. Jason trapped the old man's head inside a water bubble. The old man struggled but couldn't breathe and eventually lost consciousness. When he awoke, he found himself tied up. What's going on? Where am I? Who did this? He cried out. Liang sat calmly nearby. Your plan was clever. If this was the first time you tried to trick me, I might have fallen for it. But after your last betrayal, did you really think I'd trust you again? He added. You slept for quite a while, feeling well rested? Panicking, the old man pleaded. Liang, please. I was genuinely here to apologize. You've misunderstood everything, Liang scoffed. Did Zhao's men pay you well to kidnap me? Judging by the coins you have, I'd say you were promised at least 2 silver taels. The old man stammered. I can explain. This isn't what it looks like. Liang ignored him. Tell me something. Doesn't this place seem familiar? I feel like we've been here before. The old man's face turned pale. This is where the crocodile monster attacked us. Liang, why did you bring us back to such a dangerous place? We're both in danger here. We need to leave before it's too late. But before he could finish, a giant crocodile emerged from the river. The old man screamed, it's here. We're both going to die now. Liang smirked. Who said both of us would die? Liang declared, the only one who's going to die here is you. The truth is, this crocodile monster you see is actually my pet. The old man, trembling with fear, muttered, I was right. You really are a monster. But how did you manage to tame such a dangerous creature? Desperate, he pleaded. Liang, please forgive me. I promise I won't go against you ever again. Just don't kill me. I know a lot of valuable information. Ask me anything, and I'll tell you. Liang replied coldly. All right then, tell me. Why was Steward Zhao so eager for me to enter Zhao Manor within a month? What benefit does he gain from that? Also, I've noticed that you people have been recruiting many villagers recently. What's the real reason behind this? The old man revealed, all those people are being used as materials for Master Zhao. By exploiting their health, Master Zhao plans to achieve immortality. For that, he needs the celestial pill, and the main ingredient is sourced from these very villagers. That's why so many servants are being recruited into Zhao Manor. Liang was furious. So, you captured all those innocent people just to turn them into pills? Don't you think that's pure evil? The old man tried to justify himself. I had no choice. They forced me to work for them. If I refused, they would have killed me. Yet, deep inside, he thought, once Master Zhao becomes immortal, I'll use the celestial pill too and gain immortality. After that, no one, not even Liang, will be able to harm me. But for now, I need to survive. He continued begging, Liang, you've got all the information you needed. Please let me go. But before he could finish, Liang struck him with a stone, killing him instantly. Liang muttered, "You saw my true form, there's no way I could let you live. Until I become truly strong, this monster side of me must remain hidden." As the old man's lifeless body sank into the water, the crocodile dragged it away. Liang thought, "They wanted to refine me into a pill. If I hadn't killed him now, he would have surely tried to kill me later. He never seemed loyal anyway. To survive, I need powerful allies." Liang realized that strength was essential. If I don't grow stronger, they will eventually kill me. Meanwhile, the old man's body started reacting underwater, a clear sign it was being refined into a celestial pill. The next day, Liang returned to the riverside with a boat full of fish. Water control abilities have made life so much easier, he thought. I can now catch fish effortlessly. It's been 3 days since I killed that old man. Since then, I've been pretending to be a simple fisherman. No one suspects me. He sold fish daily, earning decent money, while maintaining his cover story. Everyone thinks I'm just a poor orphan struggling to make a living, he mused. To strengthen my alibi, I spread the story that the old man took all my money and left me with this rundown boat. The villagers hated him even more after that. However, Liang knew the Zhao family's influence was vast. They'll definitely get suspicious about the old man's disappearance and come looking for me. After all, they know he last visited me. He concluded that his only escape was to become a cultivator. Joining a martial arts school is the fastest way, he thought. There are 3 martial arts schools in Pingyang City, but the strongest is the Yang Martial Arts School. Its master is a legend, strong enough to crush gold and stone with his bare hands. Under his protection, even the Zhao family wouldn't dare touch me. But there was a catch. Joining Yang School required at least 5 to 8 silver taels. Right now, I only have 2 silver taels and 80 copper coins. I need to work harder if I want to secure my place there, Liang determined. Liang noticed Croco saying something to him. Liang agreed, admitting that Croco was right. He had been overthinking and stressing too much. He realized that, for now, there was no need to think so far ahead. Compared to before, his body had improved significantly, and with time, he was becoming even stronger. His physical power had increased substantially, and for now, it was best to focus on fishing and earning money. With that, Liang and Croco dove into the water. Liang mentioned that ever since he had awakened his powers, he could feel his movement underwater had become much faster, sometimes even faster than Croco. Excited, he challenged Croco to a race, admitting how much fun it had been racing against him lately. These races also served as great training. The two began racing. Liang thought to himself that thanks to his water control ability, his speed was incredibly fast. With just one powerful push, he could easily outpace Croco. However, there was one major drawback. His energy drained too quickly, preventing him from maintaining his speed as consistently as Croco could. Suddenly, something zoomed past Liang at high speed, surprising him. Wait, what was that? He wondered. Upon closer look, he noticed it was a red-colored spiritual fish. Liang explained to himself that in this world, many creatures could evolve as their energy increased. These spiritual fish were quite rare compared to normal fish. Finding even one was difficult, but luck was on his side today. There were 2 right in front of him. Determined not to let them escape, Liang urged Croco to go after one while he targeted the other. He regretted not bringing a fishing net, thinking it would have made things easier. As Croco sped toward one fish in his larger form, Liang chased the other, using his water control ability to trap it. Finally, "I got you," Liang said triumphantly, observing the spiritual fish up close for the first time. But before he could celebrate, a dangerous presence appeared behind him. A monstrous creature emerged, its aura sending chills down Liang's spine. In an instant, the monster grabbed Liang and hurled him downward. Liang tried to make sense of the situation. What is this thing? Could it be the 6-barbed fish I heard about? He thought, realizing his luck had taken a dangerous turn. Croco was too far to help, and the monster was about to attack again. Left with no choice, Liang decided to fight. Using his water control ability, he burst the water bubble surrounding the monster, momentarily stunning it. Good thing I reacted in time, Liang thought, knowing he would have been finished if that attack had landed. However, the monster grew furious and swung its tail at Liang. I need to dodge this, Jason thought, barely avoiding the strike. He noticed the monster almost seemed to be mocking him. If only Croco were here, Liang muttered. Just then, Croco arrived, launching a powerful attack with his tail. With a single blow, the monster crashed to the ground. Without wasting time, Croco lunged at its neck, biting it hard, causing the monster to howl in pain. Liang realized that despite Croco's strength, he wasn't in his full energy form and wouldn't be able to hold the monster down for long. If I don't act now, this thing will kill me, Liang thought. Without hesitation, he cut his hand, activating his blood talisman to form a contract with the beast. Warnings from the system echoed in his mind. Activating this will put a mental strain on your body. Cancel the contract now, your mental energy is low. If you fail, you won't be able to move. But Jason ignored the warnings. His blood poured out as he focused on sealing the contract. I'm not giving up. This monster will become my contract beast today, he declared. After a tense moment, Leon emerged victorious, exhausted but triumphant. He couldn't believe he had managed to tame such a powerful beast. At one point, I almost lost control of my body, but I pulled through, he thought. Now, the beast stood before him in its small form. No one would believe this cute thing is the same terrifying monster, Leon chuckled. The system confirmed that this was indeed the six-barbed fish, capable of evolving like Croco. It would require 800 points to evolve it into its tiger head form. Leon decided to name it Fatty, thinking the name suited its chubby appearance. Turning back to the catch of the day, Leon was thrilled. Not only had he caught one spiritual fish himself, but Croco had brought back the other. Both rare fish were now his. He praised Croco, noting that even in his lazy state, he was proving to be a valuable companion. After counting his haul, Leon realized he had also caught plenty of normal fish and anticipated a significant profit once sold. Feeling hungry, he decided to cook one of the smaller spiritual fish. Maybe eating this will give me a power boost, he thought, also guessing it would taste better than a normal fish. As he ate, Jason declared that he would keep the remains as a lucky charm. After all, it was said that spiritual fish brought good fortune. The system displayed a notification. The host's water essence points have increased from 18. Leon, visibly pleased, remarked that gaining 18 points was quite remarkable. He thought to himself that usually, he would need to consume 18 spiritual grasses to earn that many points, yet here he was, having achieved the same result just by eating a single, delicious fish. He wondered, if this small fish had such an impact, what about the larger one? It's at least 3 times bigger. That could easily grant me 54 points, significantly boosting my powers. Leon analyzed his current status. My monkey spirit fusion is at 7.5. If I can combine both phases of the water essence, I might even break past 10, he mused. However, he decided against it for now. This isn't the right time. I need to enter Young Academy, and for that, I must save my resources. Fishing seems to be my only viable option, he concluded, feeling confident. Leon glanced at his collection of fish. I've gathered enough for now. These should fetch me a good amount of coins, he thought. The scene shifted to the bustling market. People crowded every corner, filling the air with noise and chatter. Leon arrived, surprised by the overwhelming crowd. He wondered, what's going on here? The last time the market was this packed was during the festival last month. Are they celebrating something again? His curiosity led him deeper into the market, where he noticed a crowd gathered around someone. It was Changji, proudly holding a rare spirit fish. Whispers spread through the crowd. This was a once-in-a-century catch. The fish weighed 1.2 kilograms, making it an extraordinary find. The onlookers discussed the Chang family, praising Changji's talent. Catching a spirit fish at such a young age is no small feat, someone commented. Leon, however, found the situation puzzling. Wait, I caught a spirit fish too, but if they're this rare, appearing once every 100 years, how did I manage to get one? Pushing through the crowd, Leon called out, "Let me through. I want to see what's going on." People glanced at him, some teasing. "Leon, why the rush? Acting like this fish means the world to you. Even if you want it, affording it will be tough." Ignoring them, Leon approached Changji and remarked, "Our Sang village must be truly blessed by the river god. 2 spirit fish in one day." A bystander scoffed. "What nonsense. The Chang family has the only spirit fish here. Even one is a huge deal." Leon smirked and revealed his catch. "Oh, I know, but here's the second one. Caught it just today." Laughter erupted from the crowd. "That's not a spirit fish. It looks nothing like it. Probably an old, common fish you're trying to pass off as something rare to make a quick buck," they mocked. Frustrated, Leon stood his ground. "Say what you want, but this is a spirit fish." Meanwhile, Changji smirked silently, thinking, there's no way he's telling the truth. "I'm the only one lucky enough to catch a spirit fish. If they were common, they wouldn't be so rare." Suddenly, an authoritative voice cut through the noise. "Wait a minute, that's not a spirit fish, it's a crimson bloodfish." The crowd turned to see Master Hookie, a renowned martial arts master. Murmurs spread through the crowd. "Isn't he from the Yang Martial Arts School? What's he doing here? Could it be that he's here to buy the spirit fish?" The crowd admired Master Hookie's presence. Recognizing his immense power, Master Hookie asked, "Tell me, boy, what's the price for this fish?" Changji hesitated before replying, "Honestly, I had no idea what it was until you named it. Why don't you suggest a fair price, Master?" Master Hookie inspected the fish. "It weighs 1.2 kilograms, right? I'll offer 3 silver taels." Changji was overjoyed. "That's more than I ever expected. Of course, I'll sell it." Leon, still holding his fish, spoke up. "Master Hookie, could you take a look at mine too? I caught it today. How much would it be worth?" The crowd groaned. Leon, stop embarrassing yourself, showing a fake fish to Master Hooky. If you make him angry, you'll regret it. But Master Hooky, examining Liang's fish, suddenly froze. Wait, this is a horn pomfret fish, he declared, leaving the crowd stunned. Liang was surprised when Master Hooky asked how did such a rare spirit fish had ended up with him. He replied confidently, saying he had caught it just today and that it weighed 1.6 kilograms. As he thought to himself, he realized this fish was called the Horn Prophet, something he knew thanks to Master Hu. Master Hu then stated that he would pay 6 silver taels and 5 copper coins for the fish. The crowd around them gasped in shock at the high price. Someone murmured in disbelief, admitting that even if they combined all their family's savings, they wouldn't have that much money. Liang is really lucky, they whispered, knowing that 6 silver taels were no small amount. Even Changji, standing nearby, was stunned. He thought to himself that Liang's fish was far more valuable than his own, confirming that Liang hadn't been lying. Amidst the crowd, a man laughed and advised Liang to be cautious, warning him not to let anyone snatch the money from him on his way home. Liang smiled and accepted Master Hu's offer, saying that 6 silver taels were more than enough for him. With the deal done, Changji quietly left the scene. Before leaving, Liang hesitated and asked Master Hu a question that had been bothering him. Why is my fish priced double that of a crimson bloodfish? Is there something special about it? Master Hu explained that Liang's fish was called the horn pomfret, a rare fish used to create special medicinal pills. These pills could strengthen and refine a person's essence and even help someone break through to the blood flow barrier. To be honest, Master Hu continued, I've been searching the market for this very fish for days. I needed it to break through my own barrier, and luckily, I found it with you. Honestly, I would have paid 6 silver taels without hesitation. Liang thanked Master Hu for the valuable information and expressed how pleased he was to have met him. Meanwhile, Liang, who had been listening, thought to himself how fortunate he was. He remembered that when he had eaten a pomfret in the past, he had saved its tail. Maybe it will come in handy someday, he mused. That evening, Liang sat outside his house, counting his newly earned money, when someone approached from behind. Turning around, he was surprised to see Libo. Liang, my brother, how have you been? Libo greeted him enthusiastically. You've really made our village proud by catching a spirit fish. It's no small feat. Liang chuckled and replied, Libo, it's great to see you. Honestly, I never got to thank you for helping me that day. If you hadn't stepped in, those guys would have surely killed me. Libo laughed and teased. Well, if you think I helped, then how about giving me those 6 silver taels as a thank you? Cut it out, Libo. Jason shot back, grinning. I'm not giving you anything. Besides, it was Grandpa who really helped me, not you. Brushing aside the jokes, Liang changed the subject. Hey, I wanted to ask, do you know how much it costs to enroll in the Yang Martial Arts School? Libo's face lit up. You're asking the right person. My father just made arrangements for me to enroll there, and I'm super excited. I know all the details. To enroll, you'll need 7 silver taels. But that's just for basic enrollment. It doesn't include food or lodging. If you pay 10 silver taels, you'll get a place to stay. And for 20 silver taels, you'll even have access to medicinal baths. But food, that's still on you. Liang did some quick math in his head. He had been saving for days and now had 6 silver taels, 5 copper coins from today's sale, plus his previous savings. That's a total of 9 silver taels and 2 coins, enough for enrollment and some extra for food. Finally, the time has come for me to join the Yang Martial Arts School, he thought. Turning to Libo, he proposed, how about we go together tomorrow to enroll? That would be awesome. Libo agreed. Having you with me will make it way less boring. Suddenly, Fatty's voice echoed in Jason's mind, and excitedly telling him he had found another spirit fish. Liang's eyes widened in shock. Another spirit fish. This is incredible, he thought, realizing he now had another chance to improve his situation even further. The scene shifted to the Zhao Manor, where in a dimly lit basement, Steward Zhao was ranting angrily. Where the hell is that old bastard Zhang? I've been searching everywhere, but he's vanished. But while tracking him, I found something interesting. Liang, that boy might be quite useful to us. Master Zhao, however, wasn't interested in petty matters. Stop dragging me into these small issues. I made you my steward to handle these things. Don't disturb me unless you have solid results. Meanwhile, Liang returned to his usual fishing spot. Bringing his boat ashore, relaxed, he cooked the newly caught spirit fish that Fatty had found. Taking a bite, he smiled. This is delicious. Liang was eating when Croco, watching him, started to salivate. Liang then called out to Croco and Fatty, telling them to come forward as he was willing to share some food with them. He encouraged them to enjoy the meal together, promising that they would finally understand how delicious their grandmaster's cooking truly was. A little while later, Liang noticed that his water essence points had increased from 24. He confidently declared that there was no doubt the fish they had eaten was a spirit fish. He explained that an ordinary fish could never provide such a significant boost in water essence. Moreover, he felt a noticeable increase in his strength after consuming the spirit fish. Liang considered himself lucky that Fatty had managed to catch such an incredible fish. He hoped they could continue finding spirit fish, which would help him quickly increase his water essence points and level up sooner. Remembering something, Liang realized that he could level himself up now. He recalled that he initially had 18 points, and now, with 24 points, he had enough to enhance his monkey spirit fusion significantly. Without wasting time, Liang began refining his abilities. As he did so, he could feel the powerful energy coursing through his body, proving just how remarkable this power was. The system indicated that his water monkey fusion level had now reached 11.7. Liang mused that it would be exciting to spar with someone to truly test his newfound strength. He also noticed that his water controlling abilities had improved significantly compared to before. To demonstrate, he effortlessly lifted Fatty into the air using his water control skills. Reflecting on the situation, Liang observed that both Croco and Fatty had fewer points left before they could evolve. Only 779 points were now needed for each of them, thanks to the spirit fish they had eaten, which reduced the requirement by 21 points. Liang found this fascinating. He didn't have to exert much effort, and yet their evolution was getting closer. Curious about the place they were in, Liang pondered who could have created such a powerful cauldron. Was it designed by someone or naturally formed? He examined the cauldron closely. On one side was the figure of Yan Luan, a mighty winged dragon. Another side showcased the figure of a strong monkey, resembling Wu Ji. The third corner depicted a bizarre creature with a human head and a snake's body. Finally, the fourth figure was a mysterious, black-cloaked entity. Liang quickly dismissed these thoughts, realizing that overthinking wouldn't help. He reminded himself that tomorrow he needed to enroll in the Yang Martial Arts School and start his training. Once he had strengthened himself, he planned to seek revenge on the Zhao family for what they had done to his village. The next day, Liang and Libo set out for the Yang Martial Arts School. Libo was visibly excited, chatting continuously about how strong they would become after their training. His non-stop talking slightly annoyed Liang, but they soon arrived at Pingyan City. Grateful, Libo thanked their guide for bringing them there. Curious about the new city, Liang and Libo explored the market, trying different foods, examining various materials, and watching impressive street performances. Libo was especially fascinated by the sheer size of the market. Meanwhile, in a dark alley, two shady men discussed Liang. One of them questioned if the boy would really pass through there. The other confidently replied that he had overheard Liang saying he would go to the Yang Martial Arts School the next day, so they only needed to wait. They planned to rob him, knowing that Liang had recently earned 6 silver taels for delivering the spirit fish. The man pointed out that this was a significant amount, so much that even if someone sold their wife, they wouldn't get that much money. He justified their plan by saying Liang was just an orphan, so stealing from him wouldn't make much difference. His companion hesitated, worried about potential trouble if the magistrate got involved. But the first man dismissed his concerns, saying that in this town, even the biggest problems could be solved with enough money. He argued that by stealing Liang's money, they were actually doing him a favor. After all, the boy would just waste it at the martial arts school. Plus, if the magistrate got involved, they could easily bribe him too. The two men noted that the alley was the only path to the Yang Martial Arts School and that it was usually deserted, making it the perfect spot for an ambush. Suddenly, they spotted Liang and Libo approaching. Libo continued his excited chatter, asking Liang how strong he thought they would become after their martial arts training. He wondered if he could one day defeat multiple opponents with ease. Having heard that cultivators could become incredibly powerful, Liang replied that although he wasn't sure about the training, with enough effort, Libo could definitely become strong. Liang himself pondered how many opponents he could take down in a fight. He remembered how easily he had defeated Old Man Zhang before and estimated he could now handle at least 2 or 3 opponents without much trouble. Just then, one of the thugs stepped in front of them, warning them to stop if they wanted to avoid getting hurt. The leader of the gang mocked Liang, recalling how he had seen him at the market the previous day. He demanded that Liang hand over the 6 silver taels, threatening him with violence if he refused. Liang calmly responded that he chose the second option. He wanted to see if they really had the strength to back up their threats. His defiant words angered the thugs, who charged at him, but Liang was ready. Before they could strike, he delivered a powerful punch to the leader, sending him flying. Another thug tried to attack Liang from behind, but Liang was prepared for him too. He elbowed the man, throwing him towards another opponent. Just as the second man was trying to regain his balance, Liang, with incredible speed, landed a powerful punch, knocking him out instantly. It was clear that just one punch from Liang was enough to take down each of them. Libo, watching all this, was left in shock. He couldn't believe Liang's speed and strength. Liang, that was amazing. You took down all 3 of them with just 3 moves. How is this even possible? When did you become this powerful? Liang, deep in thought, realized Libo was right. His strength had increased significantly compared to before. He suspected that enhancing the fusion with the water monkey had boosted his power. All the water essence from spirit fish are really paying off, Liang thought. Libo, still astonished, asked, Liang, tell me honestly, when did you become this strong? Do you even need to join the Yang martial arts school anymore? You're already so powerful. What more could a master teach you? Liang chuckled and replied, Libo, I honestly don't know how this happened. Maybe I'm just a genius. Anyway, let's hurry up. If we're late, we'll have to wait until tomorrow to enroll. As they walked away, Libo kept watching Liang, now filled with admiration and curiosity about his friend's strength. The scene shifts to Yang Academy, where Jiang Chan is instructing the students. While greeting them, he expresses his pleasure in meeting them and introduces himself as Big Brother Jiang. He assures them that if they ever need help at Yang Academy, they should not hesitate to ask him, as he will do his best to assist them. Liang and Libo respectfully return his greeting. Jiang then instructs them to follow him, explaining that Master Hu will be their instructor. He mentions that he will take them to a place where their talents will be assessed and where they will receive all necessary information about becoming cultivators. He adds that they may ask any questions they have once they arrive. After some time, they reach the designated location. Jiang introduces them to the instructor, referring to him as Master Hu. He explains that Master Hu is actually a direct disciple of Master Yang. He further said that in Yang Martial Arts Academy, there is no one who can deny the words of Master Hu because everyone respects him a lot. Liang, upon recognizing the instructor, exclaims that this is the same master who had purchased the spirit fish from him. He expresses surprise, stating that he had no idea the master was also from Yang Academy. Meanwhile, the master, who appears intrigued and asks who is speaking about him. When he notices Liang, he acknowledges recognizing him, commenting on the coincidence of their meeting again within a single day. Jiang remarks on the unexpected reunion and points out that since Liang and the master already know each other, things should proceed smoothly. Master Hu confirms this, explaining that he had previously purchased the horn prophet from Liang, which had been extremely useful for his breakthrough. He emphasizes that had he not obtained it from Liang's stall, he would have struggled to find it elsewhere, as the horn prophet is an exceptionally rare fish. Jiang expresses amazement at their prior connection and informs Liang and Libo that from that moment onward, Master Hu will be responsible for their training. He adds that for the night, they may stay at Yang Master Academy free of charge. Both Liang and Libo express their gratitude, vowing to train diligently and prove themselves as powerful cultivators. Master Hu, however, reminds them that before anything else, he must assess their innate talent. Liang and Libo are visibly shocked, as they have never heard of innate talent before. Master Hu laughs, reassuring them not to worry. He explains that Yang Martial Art Academy handles academy fees and is not known for expelling anyone. The innate talent test, he continues, is merely to determine which training style will suit them best. Liang, still perplexed, asks Master Hu to clarify the concept further. He mentions that Big Brother Jiang had assured them that the master would provide all necessary explanations. Nodding, Master Hu agrees and begins explaining the fundamentals of cultivation. He outlines the 4 stages of cultivation: skin, muscle, bone, and blood. He elaborates that in the skin stage, the body becomes highly resistant, so much so that even a stone hurled at it would break upon impact, increasing defense. In the muscle stage, the practitioner gains extraordinary physical strength, allowing them to lift objects far beyond a normal person's capability. In the bone stage, there are no restrictions on the body, and one's bones become so powerful that they can break stones effortlessly. Lastly, in the blood stage, the body's capacity reaches its peak, granting unimaginable power. Master Hu simplifies the explanation by stating that these 4 stages focus on refining the body. However, he notes that no matter how much an ordinary person refines themselves, there are always limits. To surpass these limits, 2 essential elements are required: cultivation techniques and cultivation pills. At this, Liang and Libo curiously ask what techniques and pills are. Master Hu explains that cultivation techniques are training methods tailored to the individual. He reveals that Yang Master Academy offers 3 methods, and choosing one according to their innate talent will significantly aid their progress. Liang, contemplating this, acknowledges that cultivation techniques function in this manner. He then inquires about the role of cultivation pills. Master Hu explains that while cultivation techniques facilitate progress, the path is long and arduous. To expedite the process, cultivation pills serve as an essential aid. He further reveals that the horn prophet Liang sold to him is a crucial ingredient in crafting such pills, emphasizing its great value. Liang reflects on this newfound knowledge, realizing that his sale of the horn prophet was more significant than he had initially thought. He begins to feel as though he has been reincarnated into a new world, entertaining the thought that he might be the protagonist of this realm. Master Hu, bringing them back to focus, instructs them to proceed step by step. Since they are now part of Yang Master Art School, they will gradually come to understand everything about cultivation. he stresses that the cultivation path follows a sequential process and informs them that it is time for the first step. Liang, eager to begin, acknowledges the master's words and urges them to proceed with the talent assessment. Meanwhile, from a distance, a group of individuals is seen observing Liang and Libo. Among them, Lu Yenkai asks Zhao San whether he had been speaking about this person. Zhao San confirms this and adds that their primary task is to remove Liang from Yang Martial Arts Academy, assuring Lu Yenkai that he will handle the rest. A flashback scene follows, showing Steward Zhao speaking to someone. He instructs them to listen carefully, revealing that Liang is only 15 years old and possesses exceptional potential for refining cultivation pills. He compares Liang to their third young master, noting that Liang is an orphan, which would make refining him a simple task with no foreseeable consequences. He asserts that they must capture Liang at any cost, as their third young master's body is weak, and they must act for his sake. Master Zhao, appearing deep in thought, reflects on Liang's frail body since childhood. He admits that despite his efforts, he had never found anyone else who could match Liang's potential. Liang was the perfect candidate to work as a celestial pill. Being an orphan, there wouldn't be any complications. However, word had spread that he would soon be joining Yang Academy. You must be aware of Master Yang. His temper is completely irrational. If he finds out we're targeting one of his academy's students, he won't stop until our entire family is ruined. So think carefully before making a move. There should be no trouble for the Zhao family in the future. Yes, Master, Steward Zhao responded. For now, I won't do anything, but as soon as I get an opportunity, I will act. Unbeknownst to them, Zhao San stood outside, eavesdropping. As Stewart tossed Liang's photo aside and walked away, Zhao San picked it up. He muttered to himself, no matter what happens, I must seize every opportunity to achieve immortality. Anyone who stands in my way will be eliminated. I must have Liang. Meanwhile, Liang and Libo underwent a talent evaluation. Libo gasped, Liang, this can't be real. You have first-class bone talent, and I only have upper-middle class. You must have cheated. How could the assessment be wrong? Jason smirked. Libo, stop being dramatic. Maybe I'm just more talented than you. Work hard, and you might catch up. He turned to leave, but Libo called out, wait, just because you have more talent doesn't mean you'll surpass me. I'm coming with you. Jason shrugged. Fine, but we need to hurry to the training field. If we're late, Master will be furious. Just then, they encountered Changji. Libo scowled. Changji, what are you doing here? Are you following us? Changji scoffed. Libo, stop spouting nonsense. I should be asking why you're here. Has the Yang Martial Arts Academy lowered its standards so much that they accepted you? Libo's face turned red. Bastard, say that again, and I'll show you what I can do. Changji smirked. Go ahead, try scaring me. I doubt you have the strength. Liang intervened. Enough, both of you. We're from the same village. If we cause a scene, we'll only disgrace our home. Do you want that? The tension eased. Liang turned to Changji. It's good to see you, brother. Changji nodded. Likewise. At least someone decent from our village made it here. Unlike Libo, Jason recalled that Changji was 2 years older and had always been a hard-working fisherman. The entire village respected him. Brother Changji, are you here to train as well? Jason asked. Of course, Changji replied. In this world, power is everything. If you don't have it, you lose. That's why I worked tirelessly as a fisherman. I saved enough money to enroll here. Now, I'll train hard and become stronger. Liang grinned. Then let's head to the training field together. We're already late. Libo groaned. You're right. If we miss class, it'll be a disaster. At the training field, students were already hard at work. The exercises were brutal, pushing everyone to their limits. I can't take it anymore, Libo panted. I'm about to collapse. Liang and Changji weren't faring much better. After what felt like an eternity, Master Hu finally called for a break. Good work. Brother Lu will take over your next class. Exhausted, Liang, Changji, and Libo slumped under a tree. Libo groaned. That was brutal. If it lasted any longer, I would have given up. Changji chuckled. See, you're weak. That's why you're struggling. Just then, an arrogant voice rang out. Who let these people in? They reek of fish. They turned to see Lu Yenkai and his gang approaching. This academy isn't for garbage like you, Lu Yenkai sneered. If you want to stay, hand over 2 silver taels each. Do that, and I'll make sure you don't face any trouble. Libo clenched his fists. You bastard. Martial Academy isn't your family's property. Changji placed a hand on Libo's shoulder. Calm down. We can't afford to cause trouble here. We don't want to make things difficult for Master Hu. Liang analyzed the situation. Lu Yenkai and his group were cultivators. Their strength was likely greater than his own, but he wouldn't let them push him around. Lu Yenkai smirked. What's wrong, Jason? You're staring at me like you want to fight. If you want to test your luck, I'm ready. I'm about to advance to the skin stage, so you'll see how strong I've become. Liang thought to himself. Skin stage. That means he isn't that powerful yet. If there was a river nearby, I'd show him what I can do. Libo and Changji exchanged uneasy glances. Lu Yankai had been training at the academy for a long time. There was no way they could match his strength. Just then, a commanding voice interrupted. Lu Yankai, what are you doing here? Lu Yankai and his companion stiffened. Master Hu had arrived. If you have time to cause trouble, Master Hu said sternly, then you have time to train. Get out of my sight until you've mastered the techniques I taught you. Lu Yankai swallowed hard, realizing he had no choice but to obey. Lu Yan told them they were fortunate to have survived, but he assured them that he would not let the matter rest. He declared that the academy was not meant for those he considered worthless and that, no matter what happened, they would all have to leave. Master Hu interrupted, asking if they were lost in thought. He reminded them of his earlier words and demanded to know if they had truly listened to what he had just said. One of the students nervously reassured him, insisting there was no need to worry, as they were heading for training. Libo smirked and mocked them, asking if they had suddenly lost their voices. He challenged them to repeat the words they had spoken earlier, questioning whether they had the courage to say the same things in front of Master Hu. He reminded them that they had no authority to speak. Changji intervened, suggesting they let the matter go. He reasoned that there was no point in arguing once those students had already decided to leave. Meanwhile, Liang reflected on the situation. He realized that, at this moment, power was the only thing that truly mattered. If he didn't grow stronger, he and his friends would continue to be bullied, no matter where they went. He could not allow that to happen. He resolved to increase his strength at any cost, so he could protect those he cared about. After that, he would decide what came next. Turning to Libo and Changji, Liang spoke firmly, telling them to listen carefully. He claimed to have remembered something urgent and announced that he needed to leave for home immediately. He assured them he would meet them later in the afternoon and instructed them to inform Master Hu about their training, adding that he would not be available during the session. Libo, surprised, questioned Liang's sudden departure, asking what urgent matter could possibly require his immediate attention. Libo observed that Liang had been acting strangely lately and asked Changji if he had noticed the same. Changji admitted that he had no idea what was going on. Liang felt the need to return to his base, as he feared an enemy would take control of it. He hadn't expected so many problems to arise so soon after their return. Later that night, Libo grew increasingly uneasy. He remarked that Liang had not yet returned and wondered what kind of important task could have kept him away for so long. Changji, unfazed, told Libo not to worry. He suggested that Liang might have had a serious reason for leaving but simply didn't see the need to explain it. Frustrated, Libo snapped at him, telling him to stop speaking nonsense. He insisted that Liang was his best friend and that his sudden departure had nothing to do with speculation. Annoyed by Changji's remarks, he warned him to stop making things up. Changji, unfazed by Libo's anger, smirked and asked if Libo truly thought that hitting him would make him back down. He reminded Libo that he was stronger and claimed that even a single punch will be enough to knock him out. Before the argument could escalate further, a sudden noise caught their attention. They turned to see Lu Yan approaching with a smug expression. Lu Yan spoke mockingly, expressing his amazement at the situation. He reminded them that they had met earlier that afternoon and had been quite talkative in front of Master Hu. Now that he was there, he wanted to see if they could still speak so boldly. He pointed out that there was no master present, nor anyone else to save them. He warned that he would do something to them that they would never forget in their entire lives. Upon seeing Lu Yan, Changji and Libo were filled with dread. They questioned why he kept coming after them. Lu Yan smirked and told them not to worry, as he had no intention of doing much, just breaking their hands and legs. Meanwhile, the scene shifted to Liang's base. Liang arrived with his two pets, Croco and Fatty, and remarked that something was strange. He noted that both of them were incredibly powerful, and there were very few monsters in the river that could even come close to them. Yet, they had been so terrified by something that they had called for him. He decided to investigate what creature had entered his base and scared his pets away. As Liang examined the area, he observed the marks left behind and deduced that the monster that had appeared was massive. He noticed that both Croco and Fatty were unusually nervous. Liang then recalled that after consuming the spirit fish, his fusion level had reached 11.7, significantly enhancing his water control ability. He now had much greater control over the river, and more impressively, his underwater vision had improved six-fold. Because of this, he felt confident that he would have no trouble locating the creature. However, as Liang continued his investigation, he suddenly stopped in shock. He had never seen anything like the creature before. It did not resemble an ordinary water creature but rather an extremely powerful monster. It looked somewhat like a crab, but it was impossibly large. He hesitated, uncertain whether he would be able to defeat it. Recalling what Master Hu had once said, Liang remembered that if a monster reached the skin stage, it could be classified as a spirit beast. Judging by the crab's size, Liang was convinced it was a spirit beast. Otherwise, Croco and Fatty, who were both formidable, would not have been so frightened. However, Leon reasoned that the creature couldn't be too powerful. If it had been far superior to Croco and Fatty, escaping from it would have been impossible, and they would have already been killed. Even so, Leon admitted that confronting this monster made him uneasy. He wasn't sure if he could defeat it without a solid plan. Determined, Leon reminded himself that strength required strategy. He believed that a well-thought-out plan was essential for survival. However, he acknowledged that sometimes life did not allow for planning, and unexpected dangers arose, just as they had for him multiple times before. He wondered why so many people saw him as a monster. It was not merely a matter of perception. Troubles had always followed him. Leon steeled himself, deciding that if he was facing a monster, then it was simply a battle between two monsters. If he wanted to become stronger, he had to take risks. He addressed his master in his thoughts, declaring that he refused to give up. Being in the water made him feel like Aquaman, and no one would be able to stop him. He recalled how an old man had once tried to kill him but had ended up losing his own life instead. Now, someone was trying to strip him of his pride, but Leon was confident that they would soon realize their mistake. He called out to Croco and Fatty, instructing them to prepare for battle. The three of them would attack together, and he was certain the crab monster would not escape. As Leon and his pets advanced, the scene returned to Chanji, who had been badly beaten. Lu Yen mockingly asked what had happened to him. He reminded Chanji that he had spoken so confidently in the afternoon, and questioned whether his courage had only stemmed from the presence of Master Hu. Now, with no one to protect him, Lu Yen was easily overpowering him and Libo. He taunted them further, daring them to hit him since he was so close. Just then, Chanji, lying on the ground, grabbed a stone. He had been contemplating an attack for some time and finally decided to strike. He aimed at Lu Yan's head with a brick, but his effort was in vain. Lu Yan had undergone rigorous training at the Yan Academy, strengthening his body to the point that the attack had no effect on him. He retaliated by stomping on Chanji's face, then sneered that both of them seemed eager to die. Initially, he had only planned to cripple them, but he had changed his mind. Now, he intended to kill them and bury them on the spot so that no one would ever find out. Turning to his subordinates, Lu Yan ordered them to monitor the academy's gates and inform him if anyone approached. He did not want any interruptions. He was about to start torturing Chanji and Libo so severely that they would beg for death. His subordinates assured him that they would keep watch and ensure no one disturbed him. Suddenly, Libo lunged forward, shouting in defiance that Lu Yan would never kill them. However, Lu Yan effortlessly blocked Libo's punch and twisted his arm, causing him immense pain. Lu Yan smirked, telling them that despite all his warnings, they still had the audacity to fight back. He concluded that they were either fearless or utterly foolish. Without giving them a chance to recover, Lu Yan grabbed Chanji and examined his eyes. He commented on how striking they were but admitted that they infuriated him. Those were the same eyes that had learned cultivation techniques, so what would happen if he destroyed them? Libo pleaded desperately, calling Lu Yan a bastard and begging him not to do anything. He warned that if anything happened to Chanji, he would kill him. However, before Libo could react further, Lu Yan cruelly tore out Kai Chanji's eyes. The scene shifted to Leon, who was struggling against the crab monster. No matter how many attacks he launched, the creature blocked each one effortlessly. As he fought, Jason thought to himself, wondering what strategy he should use. He realized that no matter how hard he struck, the crab monster remained unscathed. Observing its body, he noted the resilience of its cells, making it nearly impossible to destroy them. He concluded that he needed a new plan to break through its defenses. Determined, Leon called out to Croco, instructing him to approach the monster and hold it down while he attempted an attack. Following his command, Croco moved forward and grabbed onto the creature. Seizing the opportunity, Leon utilized his water control ability to unleash a devastating attack. He encouraged his allies, stating that if they gave their all, victory would be within reach. Suddenly, Leon felt an overwhelming pressure on his body. He acknowledged that no matter how much he tried, he wouldn't be able to contract with the monster due to the immense energy gap between them. Just as the crab monster was about to launch an attack on Leon, Fatty intervened with a powerful strike, injuring the creature slightly. Leon, impressed by Fatty's efforts, noted that the monster's speed had decreased slightly. However, the repeated assaults enraged the crab monster, which prepared to strike Leon. Its immense power caused the surrounding spirit plants to be destroyed. Leon lamented the loss of the plants. Recognizing their value in leveling up, he resolved to protect the base, knowing that it held significant resources for his growth. As the crab monster launched another ferocious attack, Leon found himself coughing up blood. He realized that if he did not eliminate the creature, it would surely kill him. The monster attempted a surprise attack from behind, but Leon remained vigilant. He reasoned that no creature could be invincible and that it must have a weakness. Dodging attacks, he instructed Fatty and Croco to restrain the monster so he could land a decisive blow. As Croco and Fatty held the creature down, Leon carefully observed its movements. He noticed that the crab monster instinctively protected its stomach whenever attacked, using its arms as a shield. This confirmed his suspicion. Its stomach was its weak point. Determined, Lian decided to target that area with his next attack. He prepared himself, concentrating his water control ability onto the tip of his wooden spear. He knew this would be his final attack, as his mental strength had already been significantly depleted from his earlier attempts to contract with the monster. The system warned him that his mental energy was dangerously low and advised him to stop. However, Lian remained resolute, declaring that they would soon find out who would truly be in trouble. With that, Lian hurled his spear with incredible speed. As it struck the monster's stomach, it pierced through its body. Lian, now victorious, affirmed that his plan had worked. He had known all along that the monster's stomach was its weak point. However, exhaustion overtook him, and he collapsed into unconsciousness. When Lian finally opened his eyes, he felt disoriented and restless. He questioned whether he had lost consciousness and for how long. Seeing him awake, both Croco and Fatty expressed their relief. Lian, acknowledging their presence, remarked that he had likely overexerted his mental strength during the battle with the crab monster. Despite his prolonged unconsciousness, his head continued to ache. He resolved to be more cautious in the future, understanding that such reckless attacks could be detrimental to his body. As he glanced to the side, something caught his attention, piquing his curiosity. He questioned why the crab monster was still there and expressed surprise at the sheer size of the creature. He then noticed that Croco was pointing towards something nearby. Following Croco's gaze, Lian realized there were numerous eggs present. Reflecting on the situation, Lian concluded that the crab monster had been female, and these were likely its offspring. He regretted his inability to tame the creature, believing that with slightly more power, he could have done so. If he had succeeded, the crab monster would have been a valuable ally. However, he quickly shifted his focus to the eggs, realizing that while he couldn't tame the mother, he might still be able to tame its offspring. He speculated that in time, the young crabs would emerge, and considering the strength of their mother, they too would likely grow into formidable creatures. Determined to seize this opportunity, Lian carefully retrieved the eggs. He contemplated whether his blood talisman would work on them and decided to test it out, eager to see the results. After that, Lian was seen cutting his hand and activating the blood talisman skill, hoping to establish a connection. After some time, a print appeared on the talisman. Lian looked at it in confusion, unable to understand what was happening. He wondered whether he had failed to make contact or if something else had gone wrong. Suddenly, a crack appeared, and from within it emerged a small, adorable crab. At the same moment, the system announced that Lian had successfully tamed a stone crab. It further explained that evolving the crab would require a full 8,000 points, and once evolved, the stone crab would become a crab king. Following this, Lian began eating the crab's meat, causing his fusion rate to increase steadily. Eventually, his fusion reached a level of 36. Lian then released Water Monkey's power, marveling at its intensity. His companions, witnessing the event, grew anxious. Lian expressed his amazement, noting that all his injuries had completely healed. He also remarked on the newfound strength coursing through his body, acknowledging that his presence made them nervous. He speculated on what might happen if his fusion rate reached 100%. Lian then reflected on his progress, realizing that his body had grown significantly stronger after consuming spirit fish. Now, with the addition of the crab meat, he felt even more powerful. Determined, he resolved to defeat the 3 opponents before him. He wondered how many enemies he could take on at once and was particularly intrigued by the fact that he could now sense blood energy, an ability that was typically beyond normal comprehension. According to the Master Who, a person's body hardened significantly at the skin stage. Now that Lian could sense blood energy, he realized he had grown far stronger than expected. As he examined the remaining crab meat, he decided to distribute it among his 2 companions. He explained that crab meat spoiled quickly and that consuming it would grant them 6 points each. While it wouldn't make a significant difference, it would at least bring them slightly closer to leveling up, a strategic advantage for him. However, Lian chose to keep the smallest crab to himself, remarking that he was not so cruel as to let his small crab consume its own kind. Instead, he decided that spirit fish and spirit plant would be more suitable for his growth. Naming the tiny crab Pinja, he set a personal goal. If he could level up by the end of the month, he would qualify as a disciple of the martial arts sect. Once that happened, no matter what his family did, they would no longer be able to touch him. With this goal in mind, he realized it was time to return as soon as possible to continue his morning practice. Missing it would anger Master Who. Meanwhile, in another location, Lu Yenkai had been torturing his captives relentlessly. Suddenly, a voice commanded him to stop. A master confronted him, stating that he had tormented the children enough and warning that any further harm would bring serious consequences. The master reminded him that the Yan Academy had its own set of rules, and breaking them could be dangerous. This person was young Master Lu, an instructor at the academy. Lu Yenkai smirked upon recognizing him, though acknowledging young Master Lu's status. He dismissively stated that he wasn't inclined to heed his warnings. He added that he wasn't harming these people for pleasure but was acting on someone's orders given by the 3rd young master. Young Master Lu was visibly shocked by this revelation. Meanwhile, Lu Yankai chuckled, questioning whether the instructor would uphold academy rules or submit to the third young master's influence. Lu Yankai taunted that if not for the Zhao family's acceptance, young Master Lu and his father would never have reached their current positions. He suggested that if young Master Lu wished to avoid trouble, he should step back. Realizing the danger his family might face, young Master Lu hesitated. He ultimately conceded, apologizing to the captives and admitting that he was powerless to help them. As he departed, his mind was plagued with thoughts of how to protect his family, regardless of the cost. Watching this unfold, Lu Yankai and his men laughed mockingly. They ridiculed young Master Lu, likening him to a loyal dog that obeyed its master without question. Just then, Changzi stepped forward and spat on Lu Yankai's face. He demanded to know why Lu Yankai called young Master Lu a dog while behaving in the same subservient manner himself. Changzi dismissed Lu Yankai's antics as pathetic and challenged him to do better. Lu Yankai, laughing, warned Changzi that he was becoming too arrogant. Without hesitation, he delivered a brutal kick to Libo, causing him to scream in pain. Lu Yankai taunted him further, saying that if he enjoyed playing the hero, he should continue because the role of the villain suited him perfectly. He promised to beat Libo so severely that he wouldn't be able to endure it. Changzi, enraged, swore that if he ever got the chance, he would ensure Lu Yankai met a gruesome end. Lu Yankai sneered, questioning if Changzi was waiting for a savior. He declared that no one would be able to leave the academy alive and that their names would be erased from existence. Just then, an attack struck Lu Yankai's men. Panicked, he turned around, only to see Liang standing there. Liang's eyes burned with fury as he accused Lu Yankai of crossing the line by attacking his friends. "You enjoy torturing others, don't you? Well, now you'll learn what it truly means to suffer." His gaze shifted to his fallen friends, their battered bodies barely able to move. Changji, struggling to lift his head, let out a weak breath. "Jason, you're finally here." Liang clenched his fists, his anger intensifying. "I'll break your legs, rip out every strand of your hair, and leave you in such a state that you won't be able to live or die. For what you've done to my friends, everyone responsible will pay. No one will be spared." His voice rang with conviction as he vowed, "This is my promise to you all." Suddenly, two figures appeared nearby, staying hidden in the shadows as they observed the confrontation between Liang and Lu Yan. Master Hu, his voice filled with remorse, muttered, "Master Yang, please forgive me, this is entirely my fault." Master Yang remained silent, prompting Master Hu to continue, "I let my guard down today. I was too caught up in my own indulgence to notice what was happening around me. If I hadn't drunk so much or been so careless, maybe none of this would have happened to those two kids." He let out a bitter sigh. "I feel terrible for Changji and Libo. I only met them this morning, and they had so much faith in me. I even trained them, and yet, I failed to protect them. The guilt is unbearable." His expression darkened as he turned his thoughts to Lu Xiaohui. That bastard. He was once a good man, as a master. How could he stand by and let this happen right before his eyes? "I've never seen him this ruthless before." He shook his head. "People aren't always who they seem to be." To be fair, Lu Xiaohui has never been much of a talker. Since coming to the martial arts academy, he's kept to himself. But I always believed he was a good person at heart. I've never seen him commit such cruelty before. Master Yang nodded. "That's why I suspect something is off. It's as if his body is frozen in place. Something is stopping him from acting. Maybe that's why he's never been able to cross the blood barrier." A martial artist who lacks the courage to act, who stands idly by despite having the power to stop injustice, is not worthy of the title. His eyes narrowed. "I don't understand why Lu Xiaohui is stuck like this, but I'll figure it out later. Right now, we need to focus on what's happening here." As they continued watching, Master Hu turned to Master Yang. "Why don't we step in? Lu Yan has already done enough damage. It's time to put an end to this." Master Yang remained deep in thought, while Master Hu continues, "We've seen with our own eyes how he tortured these people. If we don't act, it'll be disgraceful for our sect, and no one will have faith in the Yang Academy anymore. In terms of sheer power, Liang doesn't stand a chance. Lu Yankai is on the verge of surpassing the skin stage, and despite his wicked nature, his strength far exceeds Liang's. If we don't intervene, Liang's life will be in grave danger." Despite this, something about Liang caught Master Yang's attention. "Wait a minute," he murmured. "I don't know why, but I can sense an incredible blood energy from this kid. Something about him feels different. I have a feeling he might actually be capable of giving Lu Yankai a real fight. Or maybe," he smirked slightly, "maybe today, Lu Yankai will finally get what's coming to him." Meanwhile, Lu Yankai sneered at Liang. "You think you can break my teeth, bastard? Just because you managed to take down one of my men doesn't mean you're strong. Attacking from the shadows and calling yourself a warrior, that's nothing but cowardice." His eyes glinted with malice as he continued. "Did you even stop to wonder why your two friends ended up in this condition? They tried to fight back too, but But look at them now, and soon enough, you'll be just like them. Liang let out a slow exhale before meeting Lu Yenkai's gaze with unwavering determination. Is that so? Well then, I hope you're prepared. His voice dropped to a chilling tone as he added, because I warned you, and now, I'll make sure you regret every word you just said. Get ready to feel the pain you deserve. Every part of your body will break, and you will beg me to spare your life. He sneered. But that won't happen. You'll suffer a death more brutal than anything you've ever imagined. Lu Yenkai replies. You think you can defeat me? I don't need to fight you myself. My men will handle you with ease. Come on, everyone, show him what you're made of. After all, I doubt he has as much power as he thinks. Without hesitation, Lu Yenkai's men lunged at Liang, but Liang moved swiftly, landing a devastating kick on one opponent before dodging a punch and retaliating with a powerful blow. Another attacker attempted to land a kick, but Liang dodged with ease. One of the men scoffed, remarking that Liang was good at dodging but questioned if he had the courage to fight head-on. Before he could react, Liang delivered a crushing punch, knocking him out instantly. Turning his gaze towards Lu Yenkai, Jason smirked. Now that all your friends are down, it's your turn. Lu Yenkai chuckled mockingly. You think defeating these weaklings means you can defeat me too? I am on the verge of breaking through my skin stage. You just stepped into this academy today, and you think you stand a chance? Being able to release your blood energy doesn't make you powerful. Whatever I did to your friends, I will do the same to you. Liang shrugged. Alright, let's see whose words hold true. Hearing this, Lu Yenkai's temper flared. You insolent fool, he shouted. You dare speak to me like that? In a fit of rage, Lu Yenkai launched a ferocious attack, but Liang blocked his punch effortlessly before delivering a bone-crushing counterattack. Without giving him a chance to recover, Liang continued his relentless assault, striking Lu Yenkai repeatedly. The non-stop barrage left Lu Yenkai bloodied and battered. I told you, Liang said coldly, you're no different from the rest. Defeating them was just as easy as defeating you, and this is just the beginning. I'm not stopping now. Lu Yenkai, struggling to stay upright, panted heavily. You think this is over? I have been fighting for so long, my energy is depleted. But no matter, I will use my weapon. Like I said before, I am no hero, I am a villain, and a villain will do whatever it takes. Before Liang could react, Lu Yenkai slashed him with a dagger, leaving a deep cut. Liang staggered back, momentarily stunned. Lu Yenkai cackled as he stomped towards him. You are weak, you can't do anything to me. Even if you escape, I will hunt you down. Who do you have to protect you? Your father is dead. You are alone. The third young master's orders mean nothing to me. Today, I will crush you beneath my feet. As Lu Yenkai raised his dagger for another strike, Jason caught it with his bare hand, the blade slicing through his palm. Despite the pain, he held firm. You think I will lose here? Liang growled. I may not have my father, but he raised me to be strong and fearless. I will never bow to scum like you. You attacked my friends, and for that, I won't let you go. With that, Liang delivered a devastating punch to Lu Yenkai, sending him crashing to the ground. His anger boiled over. Lu Yenkai, bloodied and trembling, stared in horror. You're a monster. Stay away from me. I admit I was wrong, but if you kill me, you will be expelled from the academy. Desperate, Lu Yenkai called out. Master Lu, you have been watching. You are on my side. Attack Liang. According to the academy's rules, he cannot kill me. Master Lu remained silent. Just as Liang was about to finish Lu Yenkai, the ground trembled, and the academy's training halls suffered massive destruction. A commanding voice boomed through the chaos. Lu Yenkai, Ji Ding, Yu Lung, and Ding Kuzi. Master Yang's authoritative tone silenced the battlefield. You four have violated the rules of our martial arts academy. No one is permitted to fight here, yet you have caused immense destruction and torment. Because of your actions, I am expelling you from the Yang Martial Academy, effective immediately, and I promise, after today, no academy will ever accept you again. Master Yang's gaze turned to Master Lu. I am appalled at your cowardice. You stood by as these children were beaten before your eyes. You failed to protect them. Meet me in the council room later. I will deal with you then. Master Lu bowed his head. Master Yang, please forgive me. I stood idly by and let this happen. Meanwhile, Liang stood in stunned silence. Piecing everything together, the instructors were addressing Master Yang with utmost reverence. Could this be the legendary Master Yang Dong? Liang's mind raced. If Master Yang had expelled Lu Yenkai and his followers, then surely, he himself was next. The realization hit him hard. Liang recalled Lu Yenkai's taunting words, reminding him that without his father, he had no one to save him, making his survival in the martial world nearly impossible. It seemed Lu Yenkai had been right. Without backing, moving forward in this world was indeed a daunting challenge. At that moment, Master Yang addressed him, asking, Your name is Liang, correct? Liang responded respectfully, admitting his fault. He apologized for his actions, explaining that he had been unable to control himself after what had been done to his friends. He acknowledged his mistake and stated that he would accept any punishment without complaint. To his surprise, instead of reprimanding him, Master Yang expressed his admiration. He told Liang that he was pleased to see the traits of a great martial artist within him. Then, in an unexpected turn, he asked Liang if he would be willing to become his disciple. Master Yang remarked that a disciple with Liang's courage would bring him great pride. As Liang reminded him of his own youth, a fearless man determined to move forward, Liang was utterly shocked. He had expected to be expelled, yet the complete opposite had happened. The scene shifted to the Yang residence, where people discussed Master Yang's decision. Rumors spread that he was choosing his 9th direct disciple that day. Whispers filled the air about how young and handsome the chosen disciple was compared to the others. Outside Liang's room, a lady knocked and politely asked if she could enter. She informed him that his disciple ceremony was about to take place and that his senior brothers and sisters had sent a special outfit for the occasion. She reassured him not to worry, as they would help him dress to ensure he looked his best for the ceremony. Liang, taken aback by their kindness, politely declined their assistance. He requested that they leave the room for a moment, assuring them that he would dress himself and join them shortly. As they left, one of the ladies commented on how shy the new young master was, adding that he was also quite handsome compared to the other disciples. Alone in his room, Liang reflected on how his life was about to change. It had been 2 weeks since he had defeated Liu Yankai, and on the same day, Master Yang had accepted him as a direct disciple. However, there was a traditional ceremony at Yang Academy that every direct disciple had to undergo. Today, he would officially become Master Yang's 9th disciple. During the past 2 weeks, with Master Yang's help, their injuries had healed significantly. If not for Master Yang's special treatment, recovery would have been much more difficult, especially for Libo and Changji, who had also suffered severe injuries. Liang finally felt a sense of belonging. He was no longer alone in the world. He had his master, his brothers and sisters, and the support of Yang Academy. Determined, Liang vowed that those who had wronged him and his villagers would face the consequences. The time for revenge had come. The scene then shifted again to a conversation between senior disciples. Master Hu recalled watching Liang fight, noting that despite his injuries, Liang's technique had been remarkable. Liu Yankai, who had been on the verge of breaking through the skin stage, had trembled before Liang, an astonishing feat for someone who had only been in the academy for a single day. It was undeniable that Liang's talent was unparalleled, which was precisely why Master Yang had chosen him. 4th senior brother Juzi, seemingly exasperated, reminded Master Hu that he had been recounting the same story for the past 2 weeks. 8th senior brother Chang chimed in, emphasizing that Master Yang's immediate decision to accept Liang as a disciple was proof of his exceptional potential. Other senior disciples, including 6th senior brother Cao Rang and 5th senior sister Jiao Qin, joined the conversation. Jiao Qin teasingly suggested that Juzi might be jealous of their new junior brother, then playfully asked if he had brought a gift for him. Juzi, feigning indifference, revealed that he had brought tungsten steel to craft a weapon for Liang, insisting it was just a small gift. The others, including 2nd senior brother Yu and 3rd senior brother Lu Gang, joked and bantered, commenting on how unexpected it was for Juzi to be so thoughtful. At that moment, Liang entered the room, fully dressed in his ceremonial attire. His presence silenced the room as everyone admired how remarkable he looked. Indeed, Liang had transformed from a humble villager into a young master. With deep respect, Liang greeted his senior brothers and sisters, expressing his gratitude for their kindness and gifts. Lu Gang, smiling, reminded him that he had yet to receive a gift from him. As the 3rd senior brother Lu presented a special gift to Liang, explaining, "This is a wonderful gift from me to you, Liang. I have ordered this material specifically for you. It is an extraordinary resource used in crafting powerful weapons. Since I was uncertain about the type of weapon you prefer, I decided to bring you the raw material instead. You may visit my shop at any time, and once you tell me precisely what kind of weapon you need, I will forge it for you." Liang expressed his gratitude, saying that he would certainly visit the shop. Brother Lu nodded in approval before addressing the group. "Now that everyone has given their gifts, we should head toward the main hall. It would be inappropriate to keep the master and mistress waiting any longer." Everyone agreed and started making their way to the main hall. The scene then shifts to Zhao Manor. Steward Zhao approached his master with a grave expression and reported, "Master, a significant problem has arisen. Old Zhang has been found dead, and we have just discovered his body. However, the bigger issue is that there is no trace of the celestial pill inside him. We are completely at a loss. I do not know what course of action to take. Please guide us." His master, enraged, struck Steward Zhu and scolded, "You fool, do you have any idea what you've done? If this information reaches the public, it will create an enormous problem. Should the authorities begin investigating and trace the matter back to the Zhao family, I will not allow us to be destroyed. Betrayal of such magnitude will not go unpunished. If they demand retribution, they will take your head for this mistake, and you alone will bear the consequences." Steward Zhao, desperate to defend himself, insisted, "Master, this is not my fault. Everything that has happened is because of that village boy, Liang. He must have been the one who killed old Jiang. That is the only plausible explanation for why the celestial pill disappeared from his body. Otherwise, such an event would be impossible. Master Zhao's expression darkened as he repeated Liang's name. Frustrated, he muttered, "Even my third son has told me that Liang has become direct disciple of Master Yang Dong. If we dare to lay a finger on him, our entire family will be annihilated. Do not even consider such reckless actions. You know how dangerous that bastard Yang Dong is. Regardless of the method you choose, you must retrieve the missing object. Fail to do so, and I will end your life myself." Steward Zhao, now visibly nervous, assured his master, "Do not worry, master, I will find it." Master Zhao then added, "And as for Liang, we will have to do something about him. Do not concern yourself with that. I am already devising a plan." The scene shifts again to the main hall of Yang residence, where Master Yang and Madame Yang stood before Jason. Master Yang addressed him with an approving tone. "Liang, you are a remarkable young man. You possess great courage, standing unshaken even before formidable opponents. Your ability to remain composed and strategize during battle is admirable. Because of these qualities, I have made a decision. I will take you as my official disciple. Liang, do you accept me, Yang Dong, as your master?" Jason, feeling immense pride, responded, "Master Yang, it would be a great honor to become your disciple. I am ready." Master Yang continued, "Becoming my disciple comes with responsibilities. You must conduct yourself with humility, especially in the presence of certain individuals. Discipline is of utmost importance. You must learn from your mistakes without becoming discouraged, respect your elders, and never humiliate your peers. Furthermore, do not misuse your power for selfish reasons. Do you understand? No matter what happens, you must adhere to these principles within the Yang Academy and beyond." Liang bowed his head slightly in acknowledgement. "I understand, Master. I will follow these rules without fail." Master Yang then presented a cup of tea and instructed, "The moment you drink this tea, you will officially become my disciple. With this bond, I must make one thing clear. I am a powerful figure with immense respect throughout this nation. From today onward, no one will dare to bully or insult you. I will stand as your protector, and none shall challenge that. If you ever face any trouble, come to me, and I will ensure your problems are resolved." Liang, deeply moved, expressed his gratitude. "Thank you, Master. I understand and appreciate every word. I am truly fortunate to have you as my master." The following day, the scene shifts to the Yang Academy, where students were engaged in rigorous training. The instructor observed them for a while before calling out, "All right, that is enough for now. You have practiced extensively. Take a half-hour break." As the students gathered in small groups, some began whispering among themselves, "Did you hear? Liang has become Master Yang's disciple." Expressing their surprise at his incredible luck, one of them remarked that Liang was fortunate Master Yang had recognized his potential. Although Liang had displayed remarkable talent, it was Liu Yankai who had played a crucial role before Liang's ascension. Liang had not only secured his comrade's safety but had also dealt with Liu Yankai and his friends. Those bastards had been causing trouble within Yang Academy. Without them, life inside the academy would have been much better. Another student added that Liu Yankai had a powerful benefactor supporting him, which had enabled him and his friends to achieve so much. Meanwhile, Zhao Shan, clearly irritated by the discussion, muttered angrily about Liang. He seethed with rage, vowing that if he ever got the chance, he would definitely kill Liang. On the other side of the academy, Brother Hu was instructing Liang. He asked Jason if he had ever heard about the 7 paths. Liang, puzzled, responded that he had only learned about the 4 barriers: skin, muscle, bone, and blood. From Brother Hu himself, he admitted he had never heard of the 7 paths and was eager to learn more. Brother Hu nodded and began his explanation. He stated that the 7 paths consisted of the galloping horse realm, the wolf smoke realm, the tiger hunting realm, the stomping elephant realm, the heavenly dragon realm, the forging realm, and finally, the transcended realm. He elaborated that the galloping horse realm was so powerful that one who mastered it could stop multiple charging horses without even moving. The wolf smoke realm, on the other hand, transformed one's blood and energy, making them as swift and aggressive as a wolf, drastically increasing speed and attack power. Third one is the tiger hunting realm, where one's strength increased significantly, instilling fear in ordinary people. Following that was the elephant stopping realm, known for its sheer power, capable of shaking the earth with every attack. Those who reached this realm were considered eligible to become generals. Brother Hu continued explaining, stating that the next level was the heavenly dragon realm. Those who achieved this status were as powerful as celestial dragons and could be regarded as the martial saints of their respective nations. However, he admitted that he had little knowledge about the forge and transcendent realms. He only knew that the experts who reached the transcendent realm left this plane of existence, making further details scarce. Liang reflected on the world of martial arts, finding it fascinating. he pondered that if reaching the transcendent realm meant leaving this world, he might have a chance to return to his own. Curious about his master's strength, he speculated that Master Yang must be incredibly powerful. Brother Hu confirmed this, asking if Liang knew how many martial halls existed in Pingan City. Liang replied that there were 3, and Brother Hu affirmed this, explaining that the other 2 were operated by influential families who had the authority to open academies. However, Master Yang remained in Pingan City by choice, as it was his hometown. Given his immense strength, he could have lived anywhere. Brother Hu emphasized that their martial arts academy ranked first every year solely due to Master Yang, the only person in Pingan City to have reached the tiger hunting realm. Liang was amazed by this revelation, realizing that no one dared to challenge Master Yang. Thanks to the system, he saw an opportunity to reach Master Yang's level even faster. Brother Hu then concluded the morning class, advising Liang not to rush his breakthroughs but to progress steadily. He explained that balancing training and relaxation would improve his cultivation. Liang expressed his gratitude and vowed to follow this advice. Feeling stronger, Liang noted that the Zhao family's pressure on him had lessened. Determined to advance quickly, he aimed to break through the skin barrier stage and truly embark on his journey as a cultivator. Later, he returned to the river. As he worked, he acknowledged how his 3 pets made catching fish much easier and considered purchasing a bigger boat. However, despite his efforts, he had yet to find a spirit fish, which was crucial for his breakthrough. Checking his stats, he noted his fusion level at 37 and wished for a spirit fish to appear. Suddenly, Liang noticed a bird's wing near him, followed by a storm erupting over the river. Startled by the loud shouting, he questioned the sudden disturbance. He then spotted 2 powerful beasts locked in battle, a giant toad and an enormous bird. The toad had ensnared the bird, causing it to scream in distress. In a desperate struggle, the toad released the bird's leg, sending dangerous waves crashing through the river. Liang's boat was destroyed, and he was thrown into the water. As he struggled, he lamented losing all his fish and wondered how to escape. Before he could react, Liang was overwhelmed by a mental attack from the giant bird. His body weakened, and he felt himself slipping into unconsciousness. As he sank deeper into the river, his vision blurred. When he regained consciousness, he found Pinja staring at him, one of his pets. Confused, he questioned how he had been saved, recalling his descent into the depths. Realizing that the bird's mental attack had rendered him unconscious, he marveled at the creature's immense power. The storm's sheer force indicated the battle's intensity, and he pondered how terrifyingly strong the toad must have been to capture such a formidable bird. Accepting his misfortune, he resigned himself to the fact that his trip had yielded no results. His boat was gone, his fish lost, and his breakthrough plans postponed. Just then, Kroko approached him. Liang, still disheartened, prepared to share his disappointment. Kroko moved swiftly and opened his mouth. Inside, Liang discovered a fish. Surprised and delighted, he realized that this was truly a fortunate turn of events. Finally, he had something useful, and he felt optimistic about breaking through his current struggles. Liang then began explaining the concept of blood energy. From a cultivator's perspective, blood energy represented physical strength. However, he noted that simply possessing strong blood energy did not guarantee power. Instead, true strength came from cultivating one's physical abilities, which in turn allowed the condensation of blood energy. Without a solid foundation of strength, it would be impossible to manipulate blood energy effectively. He emphasized that one did not become powerful because of blood energy. Rather, having power enabled the generation of blood energy. Once acquired, blood energy significantly facilitated cultivation, making it easier to form internal energy, the fundamental step toward becoming a pure cultivator. Later, Liang returned home. As soon as he entered, he lit an incense stick and began preparing the spirit fish. The fragrance from the incense greatly aided his cultivation, enhancing his focus and energy absorption. He recalled that his senior brother had given him the incense, explaining that lighting it while cultivating would make breaking through much easier. According to Brother Hu, all cultivators used this incense to accelerate their progress. Because Liang was their junior, his senior brothers wanted to help him advance quickly and reach their level. Determined, Liang reminded himself that breaking through required condensing all his blood energy near his chest. Following the method taught by his mentors, he continued his cultivation with confidence, convinced that he would soon succeed. However, due to continuous training, he found his blood energy depleting rapidly. To recover, he consumed spirit fish, which replenished his strength and allowed him to resume cultivation. Despite making 38 consecutive attempts to break through, each effort ended in failure. Frustrated, he struggled to understand what was preventing him from advancing. Brother Hu had advised that when cultivators reached a bottleneck and could not break through despite repeated efforts, they needed to gather both their chi and blood energy into one focal point. This increased internal pressure could shatter their limitations. bringing them closer to the next stage. Liang understood that mastering this stage was crucial to progressing as a cultivator. Energy resided within every individual, but recognizing and harnessing it was the key to true cultivation. As soon as one became aware of their internal energy, it naturally merged with their blood energy, leading to a successful breakthrough. Yet, despite his best efforts, Liang failed once again. After 40 unsuccessful attempts, he admitted that something was still missing. He checked his stats and noted that his fusion with water monkey spirit had reached 49%, but he had 0 water essence points left. Additionally, evolution points for Croco or Fatty has decreased slightly. Frustrated, he wondered why he was unable to break through, despite his high fusion rate. Deep down, he felt that if he could reach 50%, he might finally succeed. Unfortunately, his supply of spirit fish had run out, and the lotus root he had was proving ineffective. Realizing he needed more resources, he decided he would have to return to the river to catch another spirit fish. Without it, his breakthrough would remain out of reach, and he would waste valuable time. Convinced that he had trained enough for the moment, he prepared to leave and test his luck outside. Just then, someone knocked on Liang's door. Opening it, he found Chang's father, Chan Chang, and Libo's father, Li Darking, standing there. Chan Chang spoke first, explaining that he had seen Liang coming the previous night. Though Liang had arrived home quite late, Chan Chang had noticed him. He mentioned that when he tried to discuss the matter with Libo's father, Li Darking had initially dismissed it. However, now that they were both present, they had come for an important reason. Liang greeted them respectfully, addressing them as Uncle Li and Uncle Chan, and asked what had brought them to his house. He wondered if there was an issue within the village. At the same time, he found it odd that the fathers of his friends had come to see him specifically. He could not understand what business they might have with him. Libo's father then spoke up, stating that it was not a pressing matter but something they wanted to clarify. He asked Liang about his son's performance at the Yang Martial Arts Academy, mentioning that Libo had not come home for the past 2 days. Concerned, he wanted to know if Libo was still training diligently or if he was neglecting his practice. He added that he had not paid for his son to stay at the academy unless he was training properly. If Liang had any insight into the situation, he wanted to hear it, as he intended to discipline his son if necessary. After all, he had sent Libo to the academy to learn, and carelessness was not an option. The world was a dangerous place where only the powerful could ensure their safety. It was for this reason that the elders of the village strongly believed all young people should become cultivators. Changji's father, expressing concern, mentioned that his son was also at Yang Academy. He turned to Liang and asked if he had met Changji there, explaining that the boy had not returned home for 2 days. He wondered if Changji was still inside the academy and if something had happened to him. Liang reassured them, stating that they were worrying unnecessarily. He confirmed that there was no issue and admitted he had arrived home quite late the previous night. He then shared an important piece of information they had not yet heard. All 3 of them had performed exceptionally well in the academy's entry test. Due to their outstanding performance, they had attracted the attention of the academy's masters, who had provided them with special rooms in the courtyard to focus on their training. He explained that Libo and Changji were still there, and he had only come home for a short time before returning. He emphasized the importance of training, reminding them that they had joined the academy to become cultivators and could not afford any mistakes. However, in his mind, Liang was deeply worried. The reality was that both Libo and Changji were in poor condition. They were too injured to return home, as their parents would never let them leave again if they saw their state. They could only return once they had fully recovered. Libo's father, feeling proud, remarked that although their village had very few young people, those who had entered the academy had brought honor to their home. He excitedly declared that he would spread the news throughout the village. He recalled how people had doubted Libo's potential, but now, he had achieved something remarkable. His efforts had truly paid off. Libo was no longer an ordinary boy. Changji's father agreed, adding that the children's had indeed brought great pride to the village. He noted that gaining the attention of the masters during the entry test alone was a significant achievement. He was certain that these 3 would become powerful cultivators. He also reminisced about how they had been inseparable since childhood and expressed his belief that when they returned home as full-fledged cultivators, it would be a moment of immense pride for everyone. Shifting the conversation, the elders informed Liang that they had come for an important matter. The village was preparing for a sacrificial ceremony for the river god. Hearing this, Liang was puzzled. He recalled that the village regularly performed this ritual and had already conducted one just 3 months ago. He wondered why another ceremony was necessary so soon. The elders explained that the river god had recently given a divine sign. The previous day, the deity had emerged from the river and captured a flaming giant bird, which had caused a massive storm. Liang thought they might be exaggerating and suspected that what they called the river god might be the large toad. Nonetheless, he assured them that there was no need to worry. he promised to contribute money to the ceremony and confirmed that he and his 2 friends would be present. The elders reminded him not to forget, emphasizing that they could not afford to anger the river god since their livelihoods depended on the river. Later, Liang returned to his secret base, Croco's Lotus Cave, and immediately resumed training with his pets. As he practiced, he noticed an improvement in his control over water due to an increase in his fusion rate. This enhancement made his attacks in the river significantly stronger. He then launched a powerful strike at his pets, causing them to revert to their smaller forms. Reflecting on his progress, Liang acknowledged that his strength in the water had already surpassed the skin stage. Like Liu Yan, he could now take on multiple opponents underwater. However, he recognized a major limitation: his power was dependent on water, which was not always available. Liang then reviewed his combat strategy, noting that he had mastered the water blade technique. However, he lamented his lack of a suitable weapon. If he possessed a truly remarkable weapon, he believed he could enhance his abilities even further. He recalled that his 3rd senior brother had mentioned that this world contained a unique type of weapon known as a spirit weapon. These weapons had the ability to self-repair and even level up over time. Despite their legendary status, they were exceedingly rare, as their creation required both heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Liang wished he could acquire such a weapon, certain that it would significantly boost his strength. Just as he was deep in thought, Fatty, one of his companions, suddenly exclaimed that something was extremely hot. Liang, intrigued, turned to him and asked what he had found. Upon investigating, he noticed something buried under a pile of stones. When he removed them, he discovered a massive feather. Examining it closely, Liang speculated that it might belong to the giant flaming bird that had appeared near the river. He carefully studied the feather, realizing it was extraordinary. He thought to himself, "My luck isn't as bad as I thought." Although he was uncertain about the feather's exact purpose, he decided he would figure it out the next day. The following morning, Liang resolved to take the feather to 3rd senior brother, convinced that he would be able to craft an incredible weapon from it. He also hoped this might finally be his chance to obtain a spirit weapon. The scene shifts to Pinyin County, where Liang arrives at the bustling marketplace. He recalls that his 3rd senior brother had once given him address of his blacksmith shop in this very market. As he navigates through the streets, his gaze is suddenly drawn to the distant mountains, where ominous black smoke rises into the sky. He wonders aloud what could have caused such dangerous smoke so close to Pinyin County. A short while later, Liang reaches brother's shop. Upon seeing him, 3rd senior brother expresses his surprise, remarking that Liang had finally arrived and must have already decided on the kind of weapon he wanted. Liang, in response, explains that while fishing, he stumbled upon something extraordinary. Admitting his lack of knowledge about the item, he insists that 3rd brother is the best person to consult. Given his expertise in materials, Liang then reveals the giant bird's feather. At the sight of it, 3rd senior brother reacts with astonishment. He identifies it as the crimson fire molt feather and tells Liang that he has discovered a rare treasure. Finding such a feather is extremely difficult, and only a handful are ever obtained. Seeing his reaction, Liang realizes just how valuable the feather truly is and feels reassured that bringing it to his senior brother was the right decision. Liang asks whether 3rd senior brother recognizes the feather. Nodding, 3rd brother confirms that not only does he recognize it, but it is also an extraordinary treasure. He explains that the feather belongs to the crimson fire bird, a rare spiritual creature that is seldom seen. When this bird senses its imminent death, it sheds multiple feathers, pouring its life essence into one of them. The special feather infused with life essence is known as the scarlet fire gold feather, possessing the ability to allow the crimson fire bird to be reborn. He likens this process to how lizards shed their tails in moments of danger. Though unlike lizards, the crimson fire bird can actually achieve rebirth. Liang listens in shock and eagerly asks if the feather he found contains any life essence. Could it truly grant rebirth to the crimson fire bird? However, 3rd senior brother regretfully informs him that while the feather does belong to the crimson fire bird, it does not contain life essence. Nevertheless, he reassures Liang that the feather remains an extraordinary spiritual treasure, and he should not be disappointed. Accepting this information, Liang sighs and admits he had briefly thought his luck had improved. Turning to 3rd brother, he asks what he should do with the feather. 3rd senior brother considers for a moment before advising that if he were in Liang's position, he would not absorb the feather's energy directly. Instead, he would craft a powerful spirit weapon from it. He offers to forge a weapon tailored to Liang's needs, ensuring a significant boost in his strength. Liang agrees, stating that he had already decided to create a weapon from the feather. Recalling his past battle with the stone crab, he remembers the difficulty he faced. If only he had possessed a weapon capable of long-range attacks, he could have defeated it more easily by using his water techniques. With that in mind, he informs his senior brother that he wishes to forge a spear. 3rd senior brother expresses surprise at Liang's choice, explaining that in their martial school, spears are rarely chosen as weapons. Though they are long and effective for ranged attacks, They are notoriously difficult to control, especially for someone who has never wielded a weapon before. He asks Liang if he is certain about his decision. Liang affirms that even before acquiring the feather, he had resolved to obtain a spear. Acknowledging Liang's determination, third senior brother promises to craft an extraordinary spear that will greatly enhance his combat abilities. Liang, feeling hopeful, thinks to himself that he will finally have a spirit weapon, allowing him to better protect himself in battle. Before leaving, he thanks third senior brother for his support and promises to become stronger to wield the spear effectively. However, before departing, he asks about the ominous black smoke rising from the mountains. He notes that the location is very close to Pinyin County and wonders if something dangerous has occurred there. At this question, third senior brother falls silent for a moment before warning Liang not to go near that place. His expression turns serious as he explains that the smoke is coming from Fahua Temple, a place that has become extremely dangerous. Early in the morning, a devastating fire broke out. From within the flames, something emerged, something that should have never been released. It was said that the destruction of the temple was not the real concern. The true catastrophe lay in the fact that a ferocious being has emerged, whose presence in this world posed a dire threat to all of humanity. Liang, addressing senior brother, questioned the severity of the situation. He asked what could possibly be so dangerous that it threatened all of humanity, emphasizing that their master was immensely powerful. He wanted to know what kind of trouble they were truly facing. Senior brother responded, explaining that if the entity had been human, there would be no problem. However, this time, they were dealing with something far worse, a monstrous and formidable mountain demon. The story then shifted to an earlier time. The Fahua Temple stood peacefully amidst the mountains. Suddenly, a woman appeared, running desperately toward the temple. She was in a dire state, pregnant, severely injured, and gripped by terror. Spotting a young disciple nearby, she called out for help. Hearing the call, the young disciple, little monk, hesitated before asking aloud who was calling him. The injured woman, struggling to speak, pleaded with him for assistance. She warned that if they did not help her, she would certainly be killed. With that, she collapsed, unconscious. Little monk, determined to aid her, rushed to bring his master. As they stood over her, he expressed his initial fear that she had already died before they could intervene. He admitted that had that been the case, he would have felt terrible knowing that someone had perished seeking refuge at the Fahua Temple. An elderly monk examined the woman, then gently spoke to her as she regained consciousness. He asked if she was all right. The woman, confused and disoriented, inquired where she was and who they were. The old monk reassured her, explaining that she was at Fahua Temple and that she had collapsed upon reaching its gates. He then asked her what had happened, reminding her that, before losing consciousness, she had desperately pleaded for help. He wanted to know what she was running from and who was trying to kill her. He assured her that there was no need to fear and that they would assist her if she explained her plight. The woman, still shaken, revealed that she was not from this county. She had traveled from Huanju County to Pinyin County 3 months prior to visit a relative, intending to stay for just a day or two. However, something unimaginable had occurred. On her journey, she had been ambushed by a large group. At first, she assumed they were bandits looking to rob her of money and valuables, but she soon realized that they had no interest in her possessions. She recounted how they had blindfolded her and taken her to a strange, eerie location. Although she had feared the worst, nothing could have prepared her for what she saw when they removed the blindfold. The sight before her was nightmarish, something straight out of hell. The people there were in horrific condition, their bodies twisted and lifeless. It was as if they were living corpses, controlled by their captors. The old monk, deeply troubled, asked what her captors had wanted from her. Had they demanded money or something else? The woman, growing visibly distressed, recounted how they had told her she was merely a material needed for refining the immortal pill. At first, she had thought they were lying. But then she had witnessed something truly horrifying. Before her eyes, they performed some dark ritual on a man, extracting a pill from within his body. They referred to the glowing red pill as the immortal pill. Meanwhile, in another scene, a man named Lin Yang expressed his skepticism. He found the entire idea absurd. How could anyone extract pills from inside people's bodies? Even if the pill was truly immortal, who would dare consume it? His companion, Brother Lin, responded grimly, explaining that it was indeed an immortal pill, one that their Lord Messenger was harvesting from others' bodies. To create immortality within the bodies of these individuals, the first step involves making them drink mountain ghost soup. Regardless of gender, the immortal pill begins to form inside their bodies. Over time, their stomachs swell significantly, and within 3 months, they appear as if they are pregnant. Once this period is complete, the material necessary for refining the immortal pill is fully developed inside them. It is believed that consuming this pill grants eternal life. This is why such experiments are conducted on such a large scale. Otherwise, why would so many powerful individuals support this endeavor? If they had been exposed earlier, the operation might have been halted much sooner. Lin Yang, with a worried expression, asks what will happen if 3 months pass. Would it lead to a serious problem? Brother Lin, visibly nervous, responded that everything had to be completed within 3 months. He warned that if the process was not finished on time, the consequences would be catastrophic. Lin Yang, still anxious, pressed further, asking what exactly would happen if they failed. He insisted that Brother Lin explain, fearing that if something went wrong, they would lose control over the situation. Meanwhile, at Fa Temple, the old master instructed little monk to deliver food to the injured woman. The master explained that the senior monk had gone into the city to report the events to the authorities. The little monk, eager to follow orders, reassured his master that he would take care of it. As he approached the room, he gently called out, asking if the woman was awake. He informed her that he had brought food. Upon entering, he initially believed she was asleep. However, something unusual caught his attention. He stood frozen as he realized that part of the woman's body had been eaten. A wave of panic overcame him, and he dropped the food in shock. Trembling, he muttered to himself, wondering who had been lying on the bed if the real woman was already partially devoured. At that moment, a drop of blood landed on his head. Alarmed, he looked up and questioned where it had come from. To his horror, he saw a monstrous entity unlike anything he had ever witnessed. A terrifying demon loomed above, poised to unleash destruction upon Fa Temple. The scene then shifted to a dense forest, where a group of people made their way forward. Among them was Senior Brother Monk, a few guards, and Master Lu. As they walked, the guards whispered among themselves, relieved that Master Lu had agreed to help. They admitted that if he hadn't, they would have needed to find another master, which would have wasted precious time. Master Lu, however, dismissed their praises, reminding them that as cultivators, it was their duty to help others. At that moment, he recalled a conversation with Steward Zhao, who had warned him about a disturbance at Fa Temple, caused by their Zhao family. Steward Zhao had insisted that Master Lu personally handle the situation, ensuring that whatever was causing the problem should disappear before it became a threat, not just to the Zhao family, but to everyone else as well. Master Lu questioned the steward, asking if the rumors were true. However, Steward Zhao remained cryptic, telling him that he would understand once he arrived. All he could advise was to be extremely cautious. Meanwhile, Senior Monk, leading the group, finally arrived at Fa Temple. He informed everyone that they only needed to climb the stairs to enter, but as soon as they opened the temple gates, they were met with a horrifying sight. All the monks inside had been slaughtered. The group froze in shock, unable to comprehend what had happened. Senior Monk's voice trembled as he questioned how everyone had died, and more importantly, where his master was. Determined to find answers, he rushed inside in search of his master. One of Master Lu's companions revealed that he had sent Xiao Luo after the child in case danger arose, ensuring his safety. Examining the bodies, the group concluded that the victims had likely been devoured. The possibility of a massive monster attacking them was discussed, but doubts arose. Had such a creature ever existed in their region? Master Lu was asked for his thoughts, but instead of answering, he seemed lost in contemplation. He recalled the steward's warnings, realizing that they had been instructed to cover up whatever had happened here. As they scanned the scene, his eyes caught something disturbing: blood trails leading deeper into the temple. Following the trails, the group realized that they all led to a single location, where Xiao Luo had already arrived. As soon as Master Lu and his companion entered, their expressions shifted to sheer disbelief. The second master in the group demanded to know what had happened and what exactly was in front of them. Master Lu's thoughts raced as he muttered to himself, wondering what the Zhao family had done. There, in the center of the temple, was a massive, pulsating egg. It had absorbed the bodies of the fallen monks. Senior Monk, terrified, clutched his hands together and whispered that there was a demon inside. He insisted that they had to pray immediately, convinced that it was their only chance of survival. But before they could act, someone slammed the temple gates shut. Panic spread among the group as the second master shouted, demanding to know who had the audacity to betray them. Master Lu, however, urged everyone to remain calm. The real problem wasn't that they were locked inside, it was the egg. It was about to hatch. Recognizing the creature, Master Lu gasped. It was the egg of the mountain ghost, linked to the ancient ghost mother cult. Another master hesitated before asking if it was the same cult that had existed in the previous dynasty. If so, how had this egg ended up here? Master Lu admitted that he had no idea where it had come from. However, he warned that the creature inside was reaching its second stage of growth, having already absorbed so many bodies. It was now far more dangerous. If they had arrived while it was still in its first stage, they might have been able to stop it. However, now that it was advancing to the second stage, their chances of success were almost non-existent. The second stage monster would be on the Galloping Horse realm, a realm far stronger than anyone present. One of the masters, his voice trembling, asked, "What? The monster's level is equivalent to the Galloping Horse realm? If the monster truly belonged to that realm, then controlling or defeating it was beyond their abilities." Before anyone could react further, the mountain ghost burst from its egg. The sight of the beast sent a wave of terror through the group. Senior monk, unable to move, trembled as the creature locked eyes on him. In an instant, the monster lunged forward at an incredible speed, slaughtering him before anyone could intervene. Xiao Luo, overcome with rage and panic, screamed that the monster had killed Senior Monk. He tried to rush forward, determined to save him, but another master stopped him, warning that the creature was far stronger than he could handle. A reckless attack would only lead to his own death. Even as they spoke, the mountain ghost unleashed a devastating attack toward them. Xiao Luo, frozen with fear, cried out for Master Lu to save him. He pleaded desperately, knowing that if Master Lu did not intervene, he would die. Master Lu, however, stood paralyzed, overwhelmed by fear. His mind raced. This creature had already reached the galloping horse realm, while he himself had yet to break through the fourth gate. Facing a monster an entire realm above him was completely impossible. A terrifying realization hit him. He had only two choices: fight and die or run and survive. He knew he had enough power to break through the temple gates and escape, but if he fled, the mountain ghost would be unleashed upon Pingyang County, killing countless people. Wasn't this why they had brought him here? He thought bitterly. To protect them, yet, his survival also mattered. If he stayed and fought, he would surely die. The monster was far stronger than him, there was no doubt about that. He had always known that closing his eyes and ignoring the problem wouldn't change anything. But deep down, he despised himself for even considering running away. His mind screamed at him. Xiao Luo was calling for his help, but he wasn't moving. He was just standing there, leaving someone to die. Could there be anyone more cowardly than me? He wondered. Just once, can I act like a real warrior? As if answering his own question, Master Lu suddenly moved. With all his strength, he launched a powerful attack at the mountain ghost. The monster, sensing the danger, swiftly retreated to avoid the strike. Master Lu exhaled sharply, realizing that fear would do nothing for him here. If running isn't an option, then I'll fight until the end, he resolved. For years, he had dreamed of proving his strength. Now, standing before this terrifying creature, he would finally see if his training had been worth anything. As his determination solidified, memories of his childhood surfaced. He had once told himself that he would become as powerful as Master Yang Dong, the great cultivator known throughout Pingyang County. He had imagined people calling him a hero one day. He remembered a little girl from his village looking up to him, telling him he was really cool and that she believed he would become as powerful as Master Yang one day. He had confidently responded, "Of course, I'm cool. Soon, I'll go to Pingyang City with my father." He told we'll be working at Master Zhao's residence. There, I'll finally get the chance to cultivate and grow stronger. The girl nodded enthusiastically, assuring him that he would definitely become a powerful cultivator, but not everyone had shared her belief. Later, he encountered Zhao Shan, the arrogant, third young master of the Zhao family. Sneering, Zhao Shan mocked him, asking if he truly believed he could reach the level of Master Yang Dong. He scoffed at the idea, telling Master Lu that someone poor and stupid like him would never be taken to cultivate alongside the powerful. Only the talented and noble were chosen for such an honor. Zhao Shan cruelly reminded him that his mother was dead, and his father was always sick. Instead of dreaming about cultivation, he should stay home and take care of his weak father. Opportunities like these belonged to the noble, not to trash like him. Later that day, Master Lu returned home, his father immediately noticing that he had fought with young Master Zhao again. With a sigh, his father asked why he kept picking these fights. Defiant, Master Lu replied, "It's not my fault. Young Master Zhao is just arrogant. He always comes to bully me. I don't know why." His father, however, shaken his head and warned him, "My son, don't waste your energy on useless fights. If you keep going against young Master Zhao, you'll never move forward in life." He then gives him a piece of advice that still echoed in Master Lu's mind: respect your elders, listen and learn, behave with humility, and you'll go further than any arrogant noble ever could. Master Lu nodded at the time, promising not to fight anymore. His father continued, telling him that before he could expect respect from others, he needed to become someone he could respect himself. Live in such a way that even after death, you have no regrets. Now, standing before the mountain ghost, those words rang in his mind. He wondered, what would Master Yang Dong have done in this situation? This was what defined a true warrior, not strength alone, but the will to stand firm for the sake of others. A surge of determination coursed through Master Lu as he launched another relentless attack at the mountain ghost. However, the monster was incredibly fast, easily dodging his strikes. At that moment, flames ignited from a book in his possession, reminding him of a lesson from the Yang Academy. True cultivators use their power to protect others, while only cowards used it for selfish reasons. Gritting his teeth, Master Lu swore to himself, "I am not a coward." He remembered the legendary story of Master Yang Dong. Despite his injuries, had stood before a monster to protect the people. No matter what, he refused to run away. Master Lu didn't know if he would ever become a hero like Master Yang, but he knew one thing: today, he would not run, even if it meant his death. Turning to the others, he made a decision. Masters, forgive me, but no matter what happens, I will not let this monster escape. If necessary, we must sacrifice ourselves. That is the only way to save Pinyin City. He acknowledged that he wasn't strong enough. Even after using all his power, he had barely managed to land a blow. Fortunately, the monster had not yet reached the peak of Galloping Horse realm. Otherwise, even this small resistance would have been impossible. Xiao Luo told Master Lu that their sacrifice would not be in vain as long as everyone else was saved. He reassured him, saying that he could now truly call him a hero. Master Lu, however, shook his head and replied, "Are you calling me a hero? To be honest, I have seen many people far more remarkable than me. They never hesitated to act, never once considering how powerful their enemies were. That is what true heroism is." As he spoke, memories from his childhood flooded his mind. He recalled the third young master issuing a cruel order, telling Lu Xiao to go and break the teeth of 2 individuals. The young master made it clear, if he disobeyed, it would be his own teeth that were broken. He gives him only 2 choices: either commit wrongdoing or suffer at the hands of others. Master Lu also remembered his friends, those same friends who had always encouraged him, insisting that he was worthy of becoming a cultivator. Suddenly, he appeared in front of them. His mind wrestled with guilt as he thought, "Please forgive me, but I have to do this. If I want to become powerful, I must surpass others." In the present, the scene shifted to Fuhao Temple, now reduced to ashes. With a crowd gathered around the ruins, soldiers had arrived to investigate, carefully searching for any clues about what had transpired. One of them suddenly shouted, announcing that he had found something. The others rushed over, only to be met with a shocking sight. The soldiers stared in disbelief, realizing that a monstrous creature lay injured within the temple. It was clear that a warrior had fought fiercely against it, using his blade to wound the beast. The monster was unable to escape, but the battle came at a great cost. One of the soldiers voiced the question, who was the brave master that sacrificed himself to stop this creature? As he picked up a nearby token and examined it, his expression changed. The name inscribed on it was unmistakable. It was Master Lu. The truth dawned on them. Master Lu had given his life to protect humanity. He stood against an overwhelming force and had not backed down. Meanwhile, in another scene, young Master Lu was seen handing rice balls to the same group of children. They looked at him in astonishment, questioning why he had gone through so much trouble to help them. The girl asked, "Big brother Lu, why did you take such risk for us?" If he had obeyed the third young master and chosen to bully them instead, he would not have suffered such a severe beating. Master Lu, who has been brutally beaten at the hands of the third young master, and is barely able to stand, despite the pain, he looked up and answered firmly, "Because I am a hero. A true hero never bullies the weak. A hero does everything in his power to protect humanity, and as a hero, I did what I had to do." With that, the chapter came to an end. Master Lu had proven that he was no coward. His actions had spoken louder than words. He was a true hero. What will happen next? We will find out in the next episode. If you enjoyed the story, please subscribe to Shadow Manhwa Teller channel. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.